Good evening and welcome to a very special edition of Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're going to be doing our first ever live RPG, courtesy of Jay Mooers and the game he created, Fae. We are still getting everything set up, but Jay, let everybody know a little bit about the game.
Sure. Well, Fae is a tabletop roleplay game, like a Dungeons and Dragons type game, where you play the monsters. Instead of being heroes looking for treasure or fighting monsters, you are creatures that lurk in the shadows. You are the things that go bump in the night. The story takes place in the modern day human world, and the worst thing that can happen is that you can be discovered by humans. So there's a lot of sneaking. You can play good things, bad things, selfish things, helpful things. It's all up to the players. But tonight we're going to be playing a group called the Get Grub Club, which is a team of Fae creatures that have created their own summer shtick where they raid a campground and steal the food from the cafeteria, which then they live off of through the winter, and then they do it again the following year. But right now we're in the process of giving people their players and getting it all together.
So you're going to see us live as we are figuring everything out. Joining us, as always, in the co-host seat is our good friend Angela Rose.
Hello.
And we are honored to be joined by Damien, who is going to be joining us as a first-time player of an RPG, much like myself.
Hello.
So excited about that. We are waiting for Darren. Darren said he was going to be joining, but I think he's still tied up at work. And while we're getting things set up here, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, HomecircleMedia.com, for the latest and greatest in anime gear. Everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out HomecircleMedia.com today, or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by Casey Fox for all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs. Be sure to check out Casey Fox, that's KAYCIFOXX, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Sorry, don't mind me. I'm working with my camera, trying to get it to work.
Not a problem.
Look,
and hello, Ross.
I can see myself in myself.
Oh, there we go. Yay.
Yay! Technology.
So glad that you could join us tonight, Ross, and hello to everybody who's tuning in. Like I said, you are going to see Damien and myself, and Darren, when he finally arrives, all play for the an RPG for the first time. We are entering the world of Jay and Angela.
And good luck to all of you. I don't want to say it. Well, I actually do want to say it. Last group I played this game with, I wiped out the whole party. So only I had like a lightning effect that I could use right at that moment, you know.
If this ends in TPK, and I didn't cause it by doing something dumb, then I'm going to be disappointed. Now, mind you, if I did something dumb and it was well deserved, then it will just be funny.
That's right. There's nothing more fun than rolling absolutely horribly.
I do thank everybody who tuned in Friday night when we did a special Kineticon review. Had a lot of people who tuned in to hear about my experiences and to view the random grab bag, since I'm addicted to those damn things, which I did get this Mari figure from Love Live Sunshine. Big thank you to Cosplay Mumu for allowing us to open the bag live on air. Showing I have some restraint, I didn't open it for a whole week.
Because you promised you'd open it on air, and we didn't do a show on last Sunday.
I would have lost the bet. I would have guessed you opened it up and then maybe taped it up carefully. And
I was smart. I put it out of sight, out of mind. It was in the closet all week. So I didn't actually pull it out until Friday night after putting my daughter to bed. I was like, okay, now I'll get this out. The figure also had a group of posters from, I want to say, a K-pop band, GOT7, just guessing by the poster thing here. There's a group of posters in here.
is a South Korean boy band. You are correct.
So that was in there, and then there was some other small trinkets. There was a little hat scarf thing that my wife stole, and also a little bow with a bell in it that she took as well, and has been using as a hair tie, and then scaring herself because there's a bell, so when she moves her head, it jingles, and she thinks it's one of the cats. So that's been kind of comical.
Worth its weight in gold.
And for everybody who tuned in Friday, they know that I spent a lot of money on autographs. I'm not going to disclose how much, but I will say I think I got at least 7 autographs in this art book by cast members from Show by Rock.
Damn it.
But on the plus side, I did have Brandon McInnes read to me because he can read Japanese. So having
Angela,
a voice.
did you lose your dice, Angela?
I dropped one, and now I don't know where it went, and that makes me sad because they're sets.
Which side of dice did you want to use?
We're using 10 side,
Okay.
and
If you don't have them, there is an app you can. If you just Google dice roll, it comes right up.
I see. I have the app.
Yep.
So it's like 10-sided dice. How many dice?
10 of them.
You're gonna use up to 10. You roll different amounts. So when we roll things, I'll be like, all right, I need you to give me a roll of like 4 d10s. So you click on the d10 one 4 times, I believe, and you get 4 rolls.
Okay.
And yes, for us, I did get this figure from Kineticon. This was part of the mystery bag. This was the prize figure that was in the mystery bag, which retails for between $25 to $35. So really, that right there was the price of the bag, and everything else was just an added bonus. So definitely worth it. And Mari is one of the better characters from Sunshine. So
Actually, you know what? Let's do this.
And I don't think you saw Ross, but I also got a Coconut, who, in my opinion, is best girl from Nekopara.
So we don't do that again, because these are
And
these particular.
I also have to throw a shout out to our friend Douglas Shute from Victory Condition Gaming, who sent me a starter pack of dice. So I have 5 D10s here, which is tough to see.
Woo!
But courtesy of Douglas Shute with Victory Condition Gaming. So this will be fun. Should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Cinnamon is not better Ross. Coconut's best girl.
Here we go again.
I think
Darren's not even here yet.
You guys had this argument last time I was on your show. Wait a minute.
It's isekai shit, is what it is.
Nekopara isn't even isekai.
Eh?
It's just cute
I like
cat girls that work at a maid cafe.
Fair. Most of the time, it's isekai trash.
And Data Live isn't isekai either. So
It's still trash.
Yeah, when we were talking to Overlord, she said she didn't like it. Well, the first episode, she said it was cringe.
I did.
But I also
2
told
and
her
3
that
2 and 3 were better, and
I
I've
told her it
conceded
got
that.
better. I told her it got better as you continue on. I mean, if I got through 2 seasons of it and she asked me why or how I did that, because she knows my taste in anime.
Yep.
And my wife doesn't understand how I got 2 seasons in.
Now that's one of those. That's one of those. I will eventually go back and watch it. That might be my plane ride to Vegas. Actually,
It's one of my favorite animes right now, and I cosplay as Ein, so
Oh, sweet.
I don't know if you were in Anime Boston this year, but the big Ein's walking around, that was me.
Did I see that or not? If I saw it, I probably would have chased you down for a photo, and I don't think I saw you. Anime Boston is one of those cons that's so large that it's easy to miss
it was
people.
chaos.
Especially as press. Angela was right there with me with a lot of press conferences getting moved around. And
Yep.
Yeah, I actually found two other people cosplaying as Eins, but I was the tallest one out of them.
I'm guessing if they got it done in time, it was Hitake and Sahara who had 2 different versions of Vines that they were doing.
I don't know because I hadn't watched it by that point, or I watched 1 episode by that point, I think. But no, if Crunchy will allow me to download them, I'll just put it on the iPad and watch it on my flight to Las Vegas on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think Crunchy, you have to be a certain member to download.
I know we pay for it, so there's that.
Yeah, then you should be able to.
So I am looking. Jay has sent us character sheets for us to look off of,
Right.
and
I figured I was holding off on going over the information until Darren got here, but
who knows when that's going to be. He said shortly, and the shortly message came in at 6:40. So, I am not sure how long before he actually does get here, but we probably can just start. And
okay.
if he wants to join in, he can. If he just wants to sit back and commentate, he can do that as well. Knowing him, he'll fall asleep.
Okay. So I guess I'll start by just quickly going over some of the stuff on the character sheets with you guys, so you at least know what you're looking at.
Sounds good.
Yep.
So I'm going to share my screen. I have one of the character sheets up, and I'll just quickly go over some stuff on it with you guys, and then we can get started. Oh, don't minimize it. Let's it's not what I wanted. Make bigger button. There we go.
So
share, screen share, share screen, share the screen, share. All right. So this is actually Damien's character, but I'll just quickly go over the character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So your name is obviously the character's name. That's what you go by. True name is a name that your character keeps closely guarded. You don't share that with anybody. In this game, it doesn't make too big of a deal. But if anyone actually knows your true name in like a full-blown Fae adventure, they basically have power over you. It's kind of like Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay.
So your true name, his is actually Oatenflakes. So if anyone actually said Oatenflakes, you would lose all your abilities, and they have complete control over you. Loyalty, I believe all the characters are hubristic, which just means you're loyal to yourself. You're not. Basically, they're like the religions of the Fae. It depends on which queen you follow. You get different pluses and minuses. But I believe all these characters are hubristic, which, like I said, doesn't give you any pluses or minuses. You're just self-centered, like most Fae. Your race, this one is Pixie. You each have a different race. Size. Languages, common basically means that you can speak a language that everyone understands in their main language. So if you speak common and someone who speaks English hears it, they hear it in English. If someone who speaks Spanish hears it, they hear it in Spanish. It's kind of like the Star Trek Universal Translator kind of thing. It just means that whatever you say in common, as long as you're speaking to something that can speak, it understands what you're saying. And then I believe all the characters can also speak their race-specific language. In this game, it doesn't make a big deal because you're all playing separate races, but a lot of times, speaking the same language as another character, you guys can have a conversation outside of everybody else. You know what I mean? So your size, Bramble's a mighty 8 inches tall. The smaller you are, the better it is for hiding, but the worse it is for traveling. You'll see pretty quickly when Lulu is running and you're running that Lulu will leave you in the dust. Affinity is what your main element is. So Bramble's main element is sky. If you were creating a character, you would then go to the sky skill tree and start building your character off of that. But these are all pre-made characters, but just so you understand. The element of air is Bramble's main element, and that means that Bramble does double damage to the element they're strong against, which is Terra or Earth, and takes double damage from flame. So if there was like a fiery devil that came out of the woods and came after you guys, you probably wouldn't want to be the one taking the hits for that one. Walk and run on the character sheet are how many feet per turn you can travel. Bramble has a walk of 10. I believe Lulu has a walk of, 25?
20.
20. So, yeah, so just walking, you go twice as fast. To be fair, Bramble probably has to take about 5-10 steps to every one of yours. So, and then same thing with run. So your main stats going down the side are strength, speed, intelligence, wit, charm, and sneak. Strength is pretty self-explanatory. It's how strong you are. And all the stats are on a scale of 1 to 10. So Bramble has a strength of 3, which means he's not terribly strong. Human average is 6. Fae average is 5. But Bramble also has a speed of 9, so Bramble is very fast. Intelligence of 3, wit of 3. Basically, as we play, you'll learn how these different stats work. If I ever ask you to say I needed everyone to make a wit check, you would grab one die and you'd roll it, and you want to roll your wit number or under. Whenever it's a roll for yourself, you always want to roll the number or under. If I say, all right, you need to beat someone else's wit, you need to roll their number or over. And always the best thing you can roll is the exact number. That's basically, Angela, that'd be the same as rolling a crit. In situations where you roll more than one die, if you roll 2 dies of the exact number, that's like rolling a natural 20 in Dungeons and Dragons. We would then go to a crit chart, which means that something special happens with whatever you're doing. I know it's a lot of information, especially when you have no knowledge of RPGs, but I swear once we start rolling in here, you're gonna get it pretty quick.
Okay.
Your hit points, or HP, in the middle are how many points of damage you can take before you drop.
Okay.
So if I say, all right, take 12 points of damage, you would then write down, so right now you have 36, you'd be down to 24. And you just keep track of that. MP is your magic points. The way that works is next section over where it says abilities. Those are your magical abilities. Each one has the first one on everyone's sheet is their racial ability, which I gave you a sheet that explains what it actually does. And then below that are the abilities that your character has in the element that's your main character's element. Each one of them has a level and then a stat. So, for example, Bramble has backwind 10 and then speed self, which means Bramble can cast the spell backwind anywhere from level 1 to level 10. Whatever level you cast it at is how many dice you throw, but it's also how many MP you spend. So Bramble has 16 MP. So if you decided to cast backwind at level 10, you'd be down to 6. So there's always the trying to mitigate what you're trying to accomplish with how powerful you cast it. Because you're always trying to figure out well, I only need this to work for 2 rounds for me to do whatever it is I need to accomplish. So maybe you cast it at level 3 and hope that 2 of your dice rolls are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are your different abilities there. He has one called Glide, which has a level 2 next to it and no stat. If you read that description, Glide is a constant ability, not something you cast. Basically, Glide means that he will not get hurt if he falls. It's kind of like flying, except he can only fly down. So it's kind of like weak flying. And there's Darren.
Hello, Darren.
He's not quite ready yet. Give him a minute.
I wonder if he's in the car because it says 2.0.
Oh.
He could be driving, so he might be just listening in at the moment.
Okay. Then the other things on the sheets, just to quickly go over it before we start playing, skills are things your character knows how to do better than average. So, I'm looking, Bramble has a skill lockpick. So basically, if you run into a lock, Joe Schmo could try to pick the lock, but it'd be a lot better if Bramble, who has a skill in lockpick, tries to pick the lock. You have better odds of successfully picking the lock. And then stuff is obviously the things you have. Bramble's got his 2 utility knife blades as weapons. He has a little brown tunic and a small satchel with 3 Skittles inside, because Bramble likes to lick Skittles for sugar rush. So, so basically, I know we're starting fresh. We haven't really had time to digest our characters and really look at what our abilities are. I gave everyone a sheet that gives you a little bio of your character, and then also explains each of your abilities. Anything that says level D10 means level D10 means the level of dice you're going to throw. So if you chose to cast something at level 4, then you go to level D10. You would roll 4 dice, and then each success counts towards whatever the description of the ability is.
Okay.
And I know it's a whole lot of information right off the bat, but I swear as soon as we get started here, it'll all kind of fall into place.
So just one question, like back when it says 10, so I have to roll 10 dice?
You could roll up to 10.
Okay.
You can roll anything below 10. It depends on what level you want to cast it at. If you want to cast it at, if you're like desperate, like this is a do or die situation, you'd probably cast it at level 10. And then also, if you read your character sheets that I gave you with the descriptions, if you have level 10 in ability, you've unlocked the mastery, which I think I only put in your character sheets if you have the mastery. And the mastery is an additional effect that the skill now has now that you've unlocked level 10, which is the max level of any ability. So you don't have to cast it at level 10 to have the mastery. So I believe Backwind actually allows you to take somebody with you with the mastery if you read the other sheet. So basically, you could cast it at any level and take somebody with you. Even not, you don't have to cast it at level 10 to have that effect.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. And so one thing we're going to alter, since we do not have the 4th character in the Get Grub Club in this game with us, Bramble in general will enjoy hiding amongst Lulu's bag and stuff like that. So you all kind of hang out together, because in the original setup with the two characters are set up outside and 2 characters are set up in the counselor's cabin. So let me explain the setting for you guys as we get started here. You guys are at Camp Iron Lake. Every year, you guys pick a different summer camp. Lulu, played by Angela, poses as a counselor and gets a job there. Brings their stuff. Lulu brings her stuffed animal with her, which is actually a boogie, which is a hairy monster, which is being played by Doug, and also has a fairy creature that comes along for the ride too, which Darren is playing, which is called Bramble.
So we have Damien and Darren. Darren joined late.
Darren.
So Darren is going to be listening in.
Yeah.
He would have been the 4th character, but
that's okay. We'll roll without it. You're down to 75% already. So basically, you guys found this camp. Every year, you stay at the camp for the summer. You enjoy, cooked barbecue foods, and you enjoy all the sweet, warmed up things during the year. And then when it gets near the end of the summer camp season, you guys basically steal everything from the cafeteria and you take off. So normally, Bramble and Pickles would be the name of the other character, would be the ones that raid the kitchen at the end of the season, but they are not with us. So the 3 of you are essentially working from the inside. Lulu has gotten a job at Iron Lake. You guys have been there for 1 day so far. It is as the name says, you are on the shore of Iron Lake. There is a the cabin that you stay in. There's also a storage shed right along the water, a dock, and then up the trail is where all the kids will be staying. They are not there yet. You guys just started your orientation. You guys are getting ready for summer camp to start. Just pull up all the information. So the other camp counselors, which are all human, one big rule is you guys never want to be discovered. Lulu actually has the problem where she sometimes forgets that she's actually Fae and kind of gets into being human. So let me just pull up my characters here. So the camp counselors, I don't know if you want to jot down any of it as notes, but there's Stacy, who's the head counselor. She's kind of the stick in the mud, no fun. She's in charge. She has the room towards the door of the counselor's cabin. Then there's Kevin and Percy, the two guys. Actually, there's three guys: Kevin, Percy, and Bruce. Kevin is the cool guy who wants to party. You know, he's like trying to like convince the ladies, let's go swimming in the lake, let's smoke things we're not supposed to. You know, he's that guy. Percy is the tech of the group. He fixes things that break down around the camp. He fixes motors. He's closest to a tech that you would have at a camp. He'll fix the electrical if it goes out in one of the cabins, that kind of thing. And then there's Bruce, who's the dumb muscle. He's Kevin's friend and his wingman when he's trying to court the ladies. And of course, Stacy will have none of it. But Lulu and Dana both have to deal with Kevin. Dana is the other lady counselor. She is a nature lover, and she knows a lot about trees and animals. But she also kind of likes the idea of partying, especially since you get paid very poorly as a camp counselor. So basically, you guys have been there for one day. Lulu shares a room with Dana, and essentially, you guys have settled in for your, I guess this will be your second night after your first full day of orientation. There are also a bunch of canoes at the water, and also there's I already mentioned the storage. There's a big storage shed, and it's filled with things like swimming equipment, like the little water wings for the kids that really can't swim well, and the bubbles, kickboards. It has basketballs, dodgeballs, field hockey sticks. It has actually some fireworks in the back for the party at the end of the summer. And basically, you guys are settling in for your second night. Sometime in the middle of the night, suddenly, I'm trying to remember all the characters' names. Stipple, who's the stuffed animal, your stomach starts to growl.
I'm getting hungry.
You're getting hungry. Lulu is asleep, and Bramble is also asleep. And you are essentially kind of like in the bed with Lulu, posing as her stuffed animal.
Now, I want to take a look around, before deciding to make any moves.
Okay. So Dana is sound asleep over on the other side of the room. Her hand is kind of hanging off the side of the bed, and she's not moving. It's very dark, but it's been dark for a while, so your eyes have adjusted. There's a faint glow of the moon coming in the window. There's just kind of
any windows open?
The window's open a crack, yes. The window,
you
have the window side of the room. Dana was nice enough to give Lulu the window bed.
Am I able to fit through the open window without making a sound to risk waking?
You may have to push it open some. It's open enough for some air, but not for animals to come in.
And I'm sure the door would make a noise if I tried to open that. So I am going to sneak over to the window and try to open it slowly as to not make a sound or wake anybody.
All right, so I'm going to have you give me a sneak check. So you're going to roll 1d10, and you want to roll your sneak number or under.
Okay, so sneak number is a 6. Let's roll a dice that doesn't fall on the floor. And I rolled a 1.
Oh, so you have no problem. You climb right up on top of Lulu's shoulders without even waking her. And you get right up to the window silently.
And I slowly open the window to sneak my way out to try to find some food.
Okay, so you open up the window. Since you rolled a 1, I'm not even going to have you re-roll. You managed to get it open enough so you can wriggle on out and drop down to the ground below on the other side. So how tall is Bramble?
Bramble is...
not Bramble, Stipple.
Stipple
He's
is 2 feet 6.
Yep, so you definitely drop below the window as you topple over on the other side.
And I am going to slowly try... Now, how is my sense of smell? Do I have a good sense of smell?
Well, you know where the cafeteria is.
Okay. So I'm gonna
which way to head down the trail to get to the food. That's kind of part of your essential knowledge. That the first thing you had to pick up was, all right, cafeteria is there. Check. Okay.
So I make my way to the cafeteria, trying not to draw suspicion or wake anybody that might be within an earshot of the path.
Okay. So just so you, as far as you're all aware, the only people here right now are the counselors, and they're in the cabin that you're sneaking away from at the moment.
Okay, so this one cabin has multiple rooms that everybody...
Yes. Yeah, there's 4 rooms in there.
Okay.
One of which is shared by Kevin and Bruce. One has Percy. One has Stacy, and the other one is shared by Lulu and Dana.
Okay.
There will be a quiz later, so. So, give me a wit check as you kind of. I assume you stay off the trail, but you kind of wander along the side of the trail in case somebody sees you. They see like essentially like a Chucky kind of moment, like you see the doll like scurrying across the ground.
Okay, so my wit is 4. I roll a 9.
All right, so you don't pick up on anything odd as you travel along, but you suddenly realize you get to a point in the path, and there's a wall of trees in the path, like literally a solid wall of like intricately woven trees. And you know this was not this way. The path basically stops at a wall.
Says for skills that I can jump.
Yes, but you cannot jump 30, 40 feet to get over the trees.
Okay.
You're not Mario.
No, Mamma Mia. Let's see here. Is there a way to go around the trees, or is it just...
So as you look to the left and right, it looks like the wall of trees like basically encompasses the whole beach and everything on the beach. Like it looks like it goes all the way down and even into the water down the sides. It's a fairly large expanse. It includes your the counselor's cabin, the storage shed, the dock, the water, and there's also an outhouse, and a bunch of trees and places to hide. The canoes and everything are still within the circle, but it looks like someone has almost built a tree-like fortress around the area.
That sounds very suspicious, but I don't know if it's something I want to investigate without the help of the others.
Okay.
So, still with the stomach growling, am I able to go by the water to see about getting fish?
All right, so you're heading down to the dock, or down to the water.
Yep.
So basically you were at the trail was going away from the lake to where the cabins were that you ran into the wall. So you turn around and go in the opposite direction. You're scooting along. Give me a sneak check.
3.
What's your sneak?
My sneak is 6.
Okay, so you do notice a pair of eyes in the water looking at you. They're yellow. They're kind of glowy. The moonlight reflects off them a little bit. And like they kind of like blink in and out of visibility. But it's in the water looking at you.
Um,
I know, here you are on your first excursion, and you're right
Yeah.
out there all by yourself.
I'm out there by myself trying to figure things out, and am I able to get close enough to see what's behind the eyes or what has the eyes without getting too close?
All right, so you're gonna approach.
Gonna
You
approach
wanna try to
cautiously.
Hmm?
Gonna try to like sneak up or approach cautiously.
All right, give me another sneak check. Let's see how your sneaking goes.
Sneak is 6. I rolled a 5.
All right, so you manage to kind of like slip behind the boats, so you're not like it kind of lost sight of you. It's nighttime. There's like the long shadows from the moon on everything, so you're able to kind of like step from shadow to shadow, and it lost track of you. It's not looking at you, but now you can get a little bit closer. It looks kind of like kelp, like it looks like seaweed with like eyes inside it, like, and it's kind of like half floating on the surface of the water, and like part of it has bubbled up where the eyes are, and there's more of it down below the water.
All right, this is getting a little too weird for the first night, and I don't want to do something too reckless without getting more information. So I may try to just subdue the hunger and try to make it back to the cabin unscathed.
Okay, so give me another sneak check as you leave sneaking up on the guy and try to get back to the cabin without seeing you.
Sneak is 6. Roll the 7.
All right, so this time it sees you again. It speaks to you in a gurgly little voice as you're sneaking away. That's what you heard. Do you just ignore it and keep going?
I think I ignore it and keep going.
All right, you're just like, screw this.
Screw this. I'm out for right now. I would rather have other people. I would rather have my compadres with me just
Okay.
in case.
So do you run back to the window? You go into the door?
I'm running back to the window. Now at 2'6", am I able to climb back through the window, or can I not jump
You
high
do
enough
have
to
climbing
get
as a skill, so I have
Yep.
your character sheet up. So you do have climbing, so you should be able to climb up to the windowsill. You just got to
Okay.
give me climbing's a strength skill, so give me a strength check.
All right. And you said, when you're doing yourself, it's 1 die.
Yep.
My
You always
strength
wanna
is
roll.
7. I rolled a 5.
All right, so you managed to pull yourself up in the window, and you crash down on the bed, waking up Lulu. So yeah, your stuffed animal just jumped on you.
What? What do you want? As I sit up, rub my eyes.
Lulu, something ain't right here.
What do you mean?
All right, Demian, give me a wit check.
Wit check.
Yep, 1d10. You want to roll your wit or under.
Okay, my wit is 3 and rolled a 3.
Rolled exact. Boom! You woke right up. You would have slept through that, except nope. You rolled exact. So boop. What's up, guys?
What's with all the noise?
You kind of peek out from. You've been hiding in her hat. She's got her counselor hat on the dresser. So boop, there you are.
What are you guys doing? Who's sleeping?
Yeah, so was I. Mumble, mumble, whisper, whisper. Let's not wake Dana.
You look
Stuffing.
over. Dana hasn't stirred yet. Dana's out.
I was getting hungry, and so I decided to try to sneak out to go grab something from the mess hall. And there's a wall of trees around the camp. I can't get anywhere near it.
So you're hungry and you went to get food without me? What kind of thing is that?
You were snoring. I didn't want to wake you.
You couldn't have waited until morning? Jesus.
Sorry, you know what it's like. You know the life that I live. Always trying to lie still to pretend to be a stuffed animal. Sometimes the hunger pains are real.
Yeah, fine.
The big thing was I doubled back to the lake, and there was some sort of creature down there. All I could see was yellow eyes, kind of looked like floating seaweed with eyes, and there was more of a mass in the water, but I couldn't tell who it was, what it was, and it just kind of mumbled a noise at me as I tried to run away. I don't think it followed me out of the water, though.
Bloody freaking hell.
If it didn't follow you out the water, we can just go back to sleep.
Yeah, but I just wanted, I didn't mean to wake everybody, but we need to keep our eyes peeled. This ain't no normal camp. Something's bigger here than every other camp that we've done previous. This camp's really messed up. These grounds, something ain't right here.
Lulu, you're the boss, so what do you want us to do?
Would I have heard any stories?
I was just checking your. So you standard fare at just about any campground is horror stories.
Yup.
There have been and very standard the Jason Voorhees kind of thing. You've heard it over and over again. And any lake place they talk about that. In fact, there were even jokes when Kevin was trying to get you guys to skinny dip with him on night one before you realized like how totally cool he really is. You guys like Percy had made a side comment like, "Oh, the creature in the lake will drag you under," But you kind of brushed it off as like standard banter for a campground. Kind of
Standard the one who's been there the longest poking fun at the newbies,
yes.
trying to scare everybody.
Yeah, it's like the stories you tell the kids so they don't sneak off into the water at night, kind of thing. Standard fare. So nothing really red alerted you on this one anyway.
All right.
Would you each of you give me a sneak check?
6. Sneak is 6 for me. So I rolled exact.
So you got exact. How'd the other two do?
0.
0? So it's essentially a 10. That's a fail. And
sneak is 3, dice is 9.
okay, so at least you realize, Doug, that a seaweed kind of hand is reaching in the space of the window and reaching for you. You saw it before it grabbed you.
I quickly move out of the way and go, "It's here. Something's coming through the window."
So you guys look.
I'm just gonna rapid fire shut the window.
Okay, so you slam the window down.
Yep.
All right. Give me you're gonna give me a speed check, and it's gonna give me a speed check.
Oh, son of a gun! I can't roll low to save my life.
All right, it rolled well. So it manages to pull its arm out as you slam the window down. Dana. Dana is waking up. Whoa, what's going on?
It was starting to get cold, so I shut the window. Sorry, I accidentally slammed it. Didn't mean to wake you.
She rolls back over. She's like, "Go to bed."
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Wait for her to go. Just basically
She
pretend.
pulls her arm back up off that was hanging off the side and turns her back towards you and just kind of mumbles a little bit and goes back to sleep.
Oh,
The whole
wait.
time that went on, I was just staying stationary.
Yeah, I figured.
I
Yeah,
had
you were not
moved.
doing
Yeah.
anything.
And I went hiding back into the hat.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait until I am 100% certain she's back asleep.
Okay.
And
She starts to snore after 20 seconds.
okay. Well, shit. Percy was right. We need to do something about this. I don't know what to do.
I can go check it out. Go sneak out. Stab it, maybe.
You guys hear almost like a scratching at the wall on the outside of the cabin. But if you look at the window, you don't see anything in the window.
I have no idea what's going on here. That just scared the ever-loving crap out of me.
Whatever this is, it ain't good.
It's trying to dig through the walls.
So you guys just hanging tight?
Looking to see what I can do. You know?
Yeah.
I see a little hole above the window. I can go sneak up and see if I can see it.
So you jump on the windowsill and look around?
Yep.
All right. Give me a wit check. No, give me a sneak check. You're
Sneak
looking
check.
at other things sneaking.
Sneak is 6, and I roll a 7.
All right, you don't see anything.
No, I don't see anything out there. It could be rats. Rats in the walls.
I don't want to do that. Alright.
Are you sure you guys weren't just dreaming? I didn't see anything.
No, I know there was a hand. Something was coming through that window at me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten out of the way as quick as I did. This isn't right. We definitely need to stay on guard. And I hate seafood, so I don't want to become them.
Well,
You guys start to hear, as you're pondering what to do, you start hearing that sound that Doug had heard, only almost like said by a chorus, like more than one. Horses, horses, horses.
That was the noise I was trying to tell you that it was calling to me as I went running to come back here. I was hoping that it was just like a bad dream or something, but apparently it wasn't. Well, you guys can hear that too. I'm hoping I'm not just going
It's basically
insane.
continuing. It didn't just stop when I stopped. It's you just
yes.
kind of hear it over and over again.
Yes, I can hear it.
I hear something saying, see something. Something, see something.
I can't make out exactly what they're trying to say, though.
I'll ask it point blank. What does it want from us?
Okay. So, are you opening the window? Are you going outside? What are you doing?
Damn it, that's a bad plan. I don't think I'm getting out of this unscathed, so screw it.
Before you do that, am I able to kind of check around at the door around the cabin to make sure that it's not trying to get in small cracks somewhere where I had perceived it coming through the window at first?
Well, the walls are fully intact walls. They're not. It's not like a makeshift barn. It actually has texture 111 walls. It actually keeps bugs from coming in. It's insulated.
Okay.
Nicer than any of the camps I went to growing up.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, let me see if there's like any opening under the door. Or...
This is the counselor's cabin, so it's a little nicer. A little nicer.
They get the high class stuff. The kids get the ones that'll blow down in the wind.
They even have the mini splits in the walls, so you have air conditioning in the heat of summer. It's pretty nice.
All right.
But you hear pawing sounds on the exterior walls as you hear the Vorshis chant.
We've got to do something about this.
We got to be able to survive the first night, or else it's going to be the quickest show we've ever done.
Yep. I am half tempted to open the door. I know that's a bad idea.
So just so you know, your door opens into the little hallway that the four bedrooms are off of. So there's like a little foyer. Like you don't have a door right to the outside. Each there's like a little foyer with one door, and then it splits into the 4 bedrooms.
So it sounds like you could go out the door to the foyer, but you're not directly outside to where these things are.
And I'm big enough where going out the window is probably not a good idea.
Is that my cue to go out there?
You know what? If it's pounding on the walls of this room...
Now, are we hearing it pounding from outside, or does it sound like it's coming from the foyer area as well?
It's coming from outside, and it's not pounding. It's more of
the scratching, pawing at the...
Yes. Kind of like barnacle nails.
Let's go out let's leave this room and then basically, are there any windows in the front entryway?
There is. There's a window next to the main door.
Then let's go check that window.
Okay, so you open up the door. It creaks a little bit, but your roommate's exhausted, so she's just ignoring it. As you step in the hallway, the head counselor, her door is not closed all the way. Stacy, it's left open a little bit, but it's dark in there as well. It's dark. There's no lights on in any of the other rooms, but the other 2 doors are closed. And then the front door, and then, like I said, there's the front door, and then there's the window next to it. So you go to look out the window?
Yep.
All right, so you look out. Give me actually, you can see this anyway. Because of in this direction, you're seeing a couple of the lights down the path, and you're seeing down to the water. You can kind of see like it faces the camp more so than the window in the back of your bedroom, which faces the woods. So you actually see about 3-foot tall piles of kelp that are kind of shifting and moving around outside. You see about 4 or 5 of them coming down the trail. Oh, hey! I'm not sure which one Rusty Griswold 74 is, but hi, cousin. One of my mysterious cousins. Hey, Chip. Yep. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to our first ever RPG, where
yes.
2 of us have no idea what we're doing, and the other 2 are seasoned vets.
That's okay. No idea what you're doing means you're going to come up with new ideas.
Yep.
So you guys look out the window, and it almost looks like like supernatural seaweed tumbleweeds that are just kind of traveling up from the lake. They're leaving like a little trail, a wet trail behind them, and they're heading up towards your cabin from the water. Occasionally, you can see an eye, like the light from the lantern, shine off an eye and then disappear back in the seaweed muck as they travel slowly towards you guys.
All right.
And they keep going. Horses. Horses.
I am tempted. To attempt. Yeah.
While you guys are standing there contemplating, suddenly, yeah, you should give me a wit check.
All of us?
Yep.
All right.
Well,
5.
1. My wit's a 4. I rolled a 1.
Mine's
Thank you for being able to roll low.
If you roll under your wit, you passed. If you rolled exact, you succeed, like excelled, and if you rolled over, you failed. So
fail.
fail.
Pass.
all right. So the only one that doesn't give a small shriek is Doug, as all of a sudden, right from around the side of the door, one of these things goes splat against the window, looking in at you guys. It's a little bigger than some of the others. It's like kind of stretched up some. You can kind of make out. You can see both eyes as they looking right at you through the glass. It's got like a kind of a bulbous nose pressed up against the glass, and the hands. It's kind of hard to tell what fingers are and what just flaps of seaweed are, but it's got these two things slapped on the glass, and it's kind of breathing and fogging the glass a little bit, looking at you guys as it keeps saying, "Horses."
Can it hear us from outside the window?
Oh, it's looking right at you, and you guys actually made you made a little noise.
Ah!
Oh, wow. Okay, you didn't wake up Stacy, so there you go. No lights come on after you make your little shriek.
Fuck it. Let's see what happens. If they can hear me, then I'm going to attempt to dirge and basically give them a penalty.
Okay, so you're going to sing yourself a little dirge.
Why the heck not?
All right. I'm just going to scroll to that part. Dirge. All right, so basically everybody that can hear it, which would be an undisclosed number of the creatures outside, as long as they're nearby, as well as your party members and any awake counselors, must all make a charm check. So she starts humming a melody, and whether it's haunting or encouraging is going to be determined by how you guys make this roll.
I failed.
Failed.
Oh. All right. You each feel like a bad gut in your stomach kind of feeling. You feel really horrible, like she's just like chanting doom. You both lose. Just jot it down in your notes that you're -1 to your charm and -1 to your wit for an hour. So any wit checks, charm checks, or any abilities that use those, you got to use the lower number now.
Oof.
And then we check on them. Don't tell me they resisted. And nope. 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 Okay, so at least there are some others suffering Nobody's enjoying your song. No one's feeling good about it.
Okay.
So the thing at the window kind of goes and slumps down off the glass. Looks like a depressed pile of kelp outside the window.
All right. I'm gonna looking at my abilities, I'm gonna try and go down to the lake.
Okay, so you're gonna open up the door.
Carefully, yes.
Are we headed to the lake with her?
It's up to you.
I'm not going to dictate you come with. If you wish to come with, I'm not gonna say no.
As being as I'm so small, I'll hop on your shoulder and go with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I am going to stay behind, even though it's out of character, to kind of keep watch to make sure the other counselors don't wake up.
Okay. So you're going to close the door and stay inside, or you're going to keep the door open?
I'm going to shut the door and try to sneak my way back into the bed to lay still. That way it doesn't seem suspicious that she's gone, and so am I. That way, if Dana wakes up, she's just like, okay, the other person, she might be going to the bathroom or something.
So, as the door closes, Dana's light does go on. You also notice that as you're walking outside, that one of the lights inside goes on. Because Dana's a nosy.
Yep.
Oh shit! The lights on.
I just kind of fall to the floor and lie motionless.
All right. She peeks open the door and she looks around. She sees you on the floor. She actually knows who you belong to. She goes. She goes to her window and starts looking out. But with her light on, which makes it harder to see outside. And I mean, she sees clumps of seaweed out there, but doesn't really think much of it. But she sees Lulu heading down the trail to the water, right?
Yep.
Okay. So she decides to investigate.
Of course.
Yep. So she picks up her stuffed animal and she steps out the door. She first suspects that you're going to go meet somebody down there. And, being the rule Nazi that she is, can't let anyone else have fun. She hollers out.
Dana or Stacy was the one that didn't like to have fun.
I crossed names?
Yeah. Dana was the one sleeping in the room with her.
Dana's asleep. It would be Stacy.
Okay, it was Stacy. Okay. I woke up. All right, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Lulu, where are you going? As she steps out, you notice that the creatures turn, so the faces aren't facing, and they stop moving and they're quiet as she walks out. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of turn and look like piles of seaweed as she walks out. She's holding her stuffed animal by the arm. Like, where are you going?
Did our cabin have its own restroom, or did I have to go somewhere else to use a restroom?
There is a porta-john. It's next to the cabin. It's on the other side, so you were actually heading in the wrong direction for it. But you could act like
that's exactly what I'm gonna do and say I was heading for the restroom but got confused.
Because you're half asleep.
Yep.
Okay. She's like, yeah, it's over there.
Sorry. And I'll turn around and actually walk towards the porta potty.
So you walk by a couple of them, the mounds of seaweed, like a little closer than you really want to, but you're trying to be casual.
Yep.
They don't move as you go past them. She's basically standing in the doorway to the counselor's cabin, hanging on to Doug, Fuzzy Doug. Yeah, who's really wishes he wasn't being held by his arm. It's not the most comfortable thing. But I assume you go into the porta-john, the outhouse.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. She waits a minute or two. I assume you're waiting as well.
Yep.
There's the little like moon shape in the door, so you can kind of like see her light is still on.
Mm-hmm.
After a little bit, she puts the stuffed animal down and she goes back in and hits the light. She's like, it must be number 2. I'm not waiting for that. So she plops Doug on his side on the front stoop and goes back in. As soon as the light goes out, Doug, the thing that you're right next to turns towards you. And then you see its little eyes looking at you.
Oh crap! What do I do now? I hope she's not in there actually taking a dump, because God, I'm about to do that here, and that ain't gonna be pretty.
After I see the lights go out, I'll wait about 30 seconds.
All right. While you're waiting, you do notice that the things start to move a little again, and they start quietly saying their little chant, like they're making sure it doesn't wake anybody up. But they're like almost like it has like a little question mark on the end of it a couple times, you know.
Shit! Oh, they're working. They're moving.
Yep. And then I'm going to make a beeline for the water, like I wanted to.
Okay, so you open up you start running for the water. Doug, the thing next to you reaches out to you to grab you. Are you going to just let it, or are you going to try to get away from it?
I am going to try to use an ability, Petrify.
Okay. So that means we are officially going into what we call conflict, which means we are going to roll initiative, which is going to place us in the order of turns. The way initiative works in this game is it's like a wheel. Once you get your spot, once you have your turn, your next turn is after everyone else's turns. Okay. So your initiative number is 1d10 plus your wit. Your wit is how quickly you think. So You're going to roll 1d10 and add your wit to it and tell me your totals.
Okay, so 1d10, 4 plus wit, which is a 4 minus 1 for the hour, so 3, so that's a 7.
Yep. Okay. Angela?
4 plus 9 on the dice is 13.
Okay.
And then the dice is 7 and the minus 1, so that makes it 2 wit. So what's it, 9?
Yep. Just so you know, with a 2 wit, you have the intelligence of an animal. So speaking is going to be kind of difficult for you while you're feeling this dumbed down. Just that's intelligence. You can still talk. Okay. But you're at pretty much the point where if anything scares you, you may just run.
Or pee yourself.
Yes, or both. All right, and now I'm going to give their spots in line. 2. And they're suffering a penalty as well. 6. Oh, okay.
Ross, glad you're enjoying this.
This has been interesting, especially for my first RPG.
You're doing just fine. I'm easing everyone into it here, getting some dice rolls going, but now we're officially in conflict, which is turn by turn based. So we're starting. Doug decided he was going to cast an ability, so that's right where we're starting on the wheel. So before that, Lulu started running, and Endymion, you're riding on her shoulders.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are heading for the water. Doug, You're going to cast Petrify?
I'm going to cast Petrify.
Okay. So what level do you want to cast it at? So you can cast up to level 6. And it's going to cost you as many MP as...
I am going to do 3.
All right. So you're going to subtract 3 MP from your total. And you're going to roll 3 dice. And Petrify is wit of other. So you're trying to roll their wit or over.
Okay. What is their wit?
Their wit is... Actually, the one you're targeting's wit is 4 right now.
Okay,
so roll 4 over. You're rolling 3 dice. Let me know how many successes you get.
2 successes.
Okay. And no exacts?
No exacts.
All right, 2 successes. So that means you got two successful hits with it, which it does. Each success is 1 round of turn to stone. So it turns the stone right in front of you.
Nice.
So basically, for 2 more rounds, 2 more of your turns, it is solid stone. So as it's reaching out for you, it just freezes and turns gray. It's a funky little lawn ornament now. Next up, some of the other creatures they're trying to follow Lulu as she starts running down towards the water. They're reaching out to her, and they keep making their chant. One of them, as you're running by, tries to hit you because you're heading for the water, right?
Yep.
All right. So he's actually just going to swat at you with his slimy little hands. All right. So he... Speed 5. What's your speed?
I'm running, so 40.
Not your distance speed, your actual speed stat.
Oh, speed stat is 4. Boo.
So they land 2 slaps on you as you go by. You take 2 points of damage. So take 2 hit points of damage.
Okay.
Just so you know how physical attacks work is you roll the number of dice equal to your speed stat, and each one that successfully beats your opponent's speed stat is a landed hit. And then depending on what kind of a weapon you're using, that will alter how much damage you do per hit. But just a slap is 1 point per hit. Actually, no, I take that back. Take 4 points. Thing's stronger.
It's stronger than I am?
No, it gets +1 to damage because of its strength. So each of those hits that was 1 point actually did 2 points. I'm sorry. So you take 4 points of damage instead of the 2.
All right. Grr.
Yeah, sorry. So it's a good hard slap. A big wet slap from seaweed.
But I can hit it back, right?
You can stop and fight if you want. So as you're running by, it is now your turn. You can either just keep running, or you can stop and fight. You can fight and then walk, but you can't run and attack in 1 turn.
Yeah, I'll slow down. Two-handed blunted, I assume that means I can hit the thing with my fists.
Two-handed blunt is actually, you can pick up something. So you have any weapons on you? You do not. You can pick up something that requires 2 hands, and you're skilled at using it, like a tree branch,
or a baseball bat, or something of the like.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So you do not carry anything like that with you to the outhouse. So
no, why would I? I'm going to stop, attempt to hit it back, and then keep going towards the water.
Okay. So you're going to roll your speed number of dice, which is 4, right?
Yep.
And you're trying to beat its speed. Its speed is 5. So you want to roll your 4 dice.
I also have +1 damage.
Because you have high enough strength, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're pretty strong for... Well, I guess for a counselor, it needs to be kind of strong.
So I'm adding 1. So I'm adding 1 to each of these?
Nope, you're going to add 1 to the damage.
Okay.
So each one of those is an attempt to hit. Everyone that's a 5 or higher is a hit.
That is 3 out of 4.
And any exacts? Did you roll
Okay.
5 exactly on any of them?
No, 2
Okay.
6s and an 8.
Well, you want to roll. Yep. So you land, what, 3 hits?
3 hits.
3 hits, and you do 2 points per hit, so he takes 6 points of damage. So you hit him back harder than he hit you.
I'll take that, and then I'll keep going.
Okay. So you give him a good whack as you continue on your way, but you're not running now. You're just walking at a brisk pace down to the water. You had to slow down to hit him, so.
Yep.
Okay. Next up is Damien.
As I'm riding on her shoulder and seeing that she's trying to fight them, I want to get out of there, even though I'm thinking of using backwind to help her speed out of there,
Okay.
speed to the river or lake.
Give her
Yep.
an added boost.
Yep.
Yep. You're going to give her a big old windy push.
So my backwind level is 10.
You're going to cast it at level 10?
No.
Okay.
Let's do it at level 5.
All right. So subtract 5 MP,
Okay.
and you're going to roll 5 dies, and you want to roll your speed stat or under.
Okay.
Which is pretty easy for you.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. So you said 5 die.
Yep.
All right. You said speed stack or under.
Yep.
So I got a 4, 1, 6, 8, and 3.
So they're all successes. 5 successes. So backwind. I'm just looking at the description of what backwind does. The caster uses the wind travel at much faster speed. The caster is granted. You have 5 rounds at traveling at double speed. So you guys can travel. And Lulu is now going twice as fast. So basically, this burst of wind hits you in the back as the two of you go flying down towards the water. You're going to get there for your next turn. You're going to be at the water.
Perfect.
So whoosh. Next up is Doug. It's your turn again.
Okay, knowing that this thing is petrified for 2 turns, I cannot damage it while it's petrified.
Correct. But you can ditch it.
So I am going to go back into the cabin and shut the door
Okay.
to try. Basically, that was an oh crap reflex of petrify. Now I'm safe. Seeing that they were able to get to the water safely, it's like I'm going to stay inside unless they need me.
Okay, so you close the door.
I close the door and sneak my way back into our room.
All right, you hear from the head counselor's cabin, Lulu? Do you say anything?
I just kind of freeze and drop
Okay.
because I can't mimic Lulu's voice yet. I've been trying to practice that, but I was unable to do it successfully in my mind. So it's like I'm not gonna make it seem like there's an intruder. I'll
Give
just make it seem like
give me a wit check, Doug.
wit check is an exact because wit is 4
All right.
-1 for the hour. I rolled a 3, so I rolled
I'm
exact.
granting you the insight of if there's no answer, she's going to come out and look. Because obviously the door was just opened and closed. So you may want to at least give it a shot.
So I try to intimidate Lulu's voice, going in a tired state. Just going back to room.
All right, give me a sneak check for it.
Exact.
Exact?
Exact.
No problem. In fact, you sound more like Lulu than Lulu sounds like Lulu.
I can't believe I pulled that off.
You waltz right in, you close the door, you're like, I nailed it.
She would be so
you do
proud.
You do a little victory shuffle across the bedroom.
And I climb into Lulu's bed and just kind of keep an eye out the window in case I'm needed to get out there.
Okay. So that window faces the woods.
Oh, that's right. I can't see what's going on,
You cannot.
but I still kind of keep an eye because if the shit hits the fan, I know Damien's character will fly back to alert me.
Okay.
So I keep on the lookout, but I pretend to lie still like a stuffed animal, just laid against, staring out the window.
Okay. All right. So you prop yourself up over there. All right. Back out we go. You guys get blown right to the water's edge. Actually, you can go right onto the dock if you want.
I'm going to go to the dock and I'm going to commune with the water.
Okay. So you're gonna cast Commune with Water.
I am.
What level do you want to cast it at?
Level 2.
Okay, so you're gonna roll 2 dice. It costs you 2 MP,
Yep.
and you gonna it's tied to your strength. So you want to roll your strength or under.
Strength or under, I can do that.
Oh, you say that, but you just wait.
Yeah, I know. I've been rolling shit all night. Of course.
Did you fail both?
No, I rolled a 1 and a 10.
So you got 1.
I
Make
got
the question
1.
good. Here we go.
I'm going to ask how. God damn it! I only get 1 question. Or no, it says I get 5. During the conflict, the question can only ask a max of 5 questions per round.
So if you won more than, so let's see, Commune with Water. So basically, if you won 10 times, you could only ask 5 of those questions this turn, and you would ask the other 5 in the next turn.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily have 10 questions, but
Well, you can at least ask 1 right now. You might have to go next turn to ask again.
I'm going to ask. Oh, it is only yes or no. Yes or no questions. Are these things trying to kill us? Will be the first questions.
No.
Are they trying to hurt us?
Oh, you're out of questions.
Eh.
But at least you found out that they are not trying to kill you. Next up, Demion.
Okay. Let's see.
So you fill a backwind up for 4 more rounds.
Since we know they're not trying to kill us, are they anywhere near us?
As you look back, looks like they're kind of all heading for the counselor's cabin.
Because they're pissed at me.
They like stuffed animals. They can't go to Comic-Con to buy their toys, so they have to go to cabins in the woods.
I decide to glide on back to check on Doug.
All right, so you use your backwind to continue traveling back?
Yep.
So you're going double speed, running speed, I assume?
Which the running speed is 20.
So you're actually going 40. You can go 40 feet in one turn. All right, you'll be at the door next turn.
Okay.
As you zoom, little gust of wind, off you go. Doug, are you just hanging out in that bed?
I am just hanging out on the bed, waiting for a sign that things are okay or they need me to come out and help.
Okay. So if anyone was on the front porch right now, they would see that the stone seaweed thing starts to become seaweed again. So it basically turns back to flesh and starts joining the other ones chanting, "Horses! Horses!" They all start just chanting it and wave their little arms in the air as they turn towards the water. Next up, Lulu. Give me a sneak check.
Fail.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
I was afraid of that.
All right, so next up,
All right, I'm zooming
Demon,
back.
you get to the window.
Yep.
Because of glide, I'll let you with backwind kind of scoop
Wait.
yourself up.
Do I get to do anything, or do I just?
Oh, that's right. You can do something, I suppose.
Great that I just want to. I get the feeling I'm gonna ask the water if they're trying to hurt us.
All right, so you want to cast it again?
Um. Oh, it's okay. Fuck it. I'll give up on that and just start running back.
All right, heading back for the. So, reminder, just as far as your layout goes, you have the storage shed and the counselor's cabin, and then just a little bit further down the path is the outhouse, and then the wall of trees a little further down the path from there. But you're heading back for the cabin.
Yes.
What's your you running?
Yes.
All right. What's your running speed?
Running speed is 40.
All right, so you're booking it right back up there. You'll be there next turn, just like Damien last turn. So now, Damien, you are. I'm gonna let you make a speed check to see if you can use your backwind and glide together to scoop yourself up to the windowsill.
Okay. Speed
So give
check.
me.
That's just one dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I asked because this damn app, I have to change everything. Speed check is 9, and I got a 7.
Okay, so you managed to get right up to the windowsill. Doug, you are startled by all of a sudden the little fairy, boom, like popping right up at the glass. You're already kind of on edge anyway. Give me a wit check to see if you make an audible noise.
Fail.
How bad?
An 8 to a 3. We're still
Okay.
within that hour, right?
Oh yeah. You're like a couple minutes down the line here,
Okay, that's what I figured. So yeah.
and she doesn't wake up. Okay.
Oh, thank God. You scared the shit out of me.
So he's at the glass.
I slowly attempt to open the window enough for him to sneak in.
Okay. Yeah, you can let him in.
Okay.
You let him in, and there's actually like a kind of a burst of wind with him as he comes in. Yeah.
They're not trying to kill us! They're not trying to kill us!
Sorry about starting that. When it came reaching for me, I went into panic mode. What else am I supposed to think, though? These creatures, they're... What the hell are they? Do we know? Aside from seaweed?
Yeah, none of you have any skills that would tell you would give you knowledge of other fake creatures, really.
Where's Lulu?
I left her back there!
Great. After all that work of trying to convince everybody that I was Lulu to sneak back in here, then she's gonna have to open the door.
Like, I was so good at it too.
I was so good. She would have been proud of me. I pulled her voice off better than she does.
All right, next up, Lulu, give me another sneak check.
Oh God.
Come on. No.
We are consistently rolling 6s on sneak when sneak is 3.
Yeah, it's still good.
No, it's not.
All right. The chanting stops, and you notice the little creatures start clapping their hands together, and they're all looking behind you towards the water. Anyway, it is now your turn. You can go to the door, go to the window, turn around and find out what they're clapping about? It's up to you.
I know they're not trying to kill me, so I'm gonna. What are they clapping about?
All right, you turn and look. Rising out of the water at the end of the dock, you see a very, very large thing. Water kind of runs off its body as it rises up out of the water. It's about 10 feet tall as it steps onto the dock. Is wearing a large blue suit. It has the top half of a mask on. The bottom half has been smashed apart, and there is a big, terrible mouth with large teeth. It has long, pointy ears sticking out on the sides, and it's holding a old, huge machete in its hands. It has a fishing net draped over one of its shoulders with a couple of buoys still kind of stuck in it, and maybe a couple of like struggling fish flapping around in the thing. And it's stepping onto the dock, and you can hear, you almost feel its foot hit the dock as it climbs up out of the water onto the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna, at the risk of not opening the door, I'm gonna basically head to the window.
Okay. So the two others, give me a wit check as another character pops up at the window.
Please, dear God, let me in.
Exact. Since I was at 3 minus 1, it's a 2.
And
So
I was
with a
a
wit of
fail.
2, you managed to critically succeed. Okay. And Doug?
And I had with the -1, I had a 3. I rolled a 5.
So
I failed.
You shriek again, just like last time. She's still sleeping.
Obviously, I don't shriek like a little girl.
You shriek like a boogeyman.
How the fuck is this working? Okay.
Beginner's luck.
Probably.
All right, so she's at the window.
Come on, guys, let me in. Let
What
me
the
in.
hell are you doing? It was like, you scared the shit out of him.
Yeah, I didn't want to wake anybody else up.
Kind of shaking, I use what strength I have to open the window up enough to let her in.
Which is pretty much the whole way. She's human sized, so
Yeah,
They're
so
not
I
huge
open it.
windows.
I open it up so she can sneak in, and I try to shut the window quick without slamming it to try to not make noise, but not let anything else in.
All right, give me a sneak check, Lulu.
Oh, we're bad at these.
Come on, let's break that 6 thing.
Holy one-liner. I got it exact.
You almost do a flip in silently. Like the Olympics would be proud of you. No chance of waking up your roommate.
Oh, thank God. All right.
Nice. What did you see, Lulu? You came back so quick.
I tell them what that description of the big 10-foot tall thing with the machete and holy shit.
That explains that smell.
Nope.
But you said it wasn't trying to kill us.
The kelp wasn't. That thing, on the other hand, I don't think the water accounted for that.
What do we do now? Do we just kind of stay hunkered in here until daylight, or?
Yes.
All right, so what, you guys just pull the curtains on the window and
I go back into stuffed animal mode.
I go back
Okay.
hiding into the hat.
I just want to live to see another day.
If I have mastery on an ability, do I have to cast it at level 10 for
you do
that
not.
ability?
Basically, you've unlocked the mastery, and you can use it at any level you cast it at.
So I'm going to spend 1 MP and cast Cooling Touch to heal myself.
Okay.
Because it says 1d level hit points of restoration.
Right, so each success is going to give you 1 point of health.
In which case, you know what? And we'll make it since I'm.
So just so you guys know, you can get MP back. I didn't explain this earlier by meditating. You go a full round without doing anything else, and nothing else happens to you, and you get back 1d10 plus your wit in MP. So you can recover MP.
In that case, I'll do that.
So you want to do a full level 10?
I will. I'll meditate. I'll meditate and get my hit points back.
Well, you got to meditate to get your MP back after you cast your healing, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? We'll do it that way then. That's fine.
Or you just want to get your MP back. It's all about getting your MP back. You can just meditate then.
Well, no, I was trying to get my hit points back.
Okay. All right. So cast Cooling Touch on yourself. What level do you want to cast it at?
I'm down 4 hit points, so we'll cast it at level 4.
Okay. And now you got to roll 4 die.
So roll 4 die, lose 4 MP.
Yep.
And it is my strength. I have one. So it's my strength or lower.
Yes. Whenever it's yourself, you want the number or lower. Whenever it's your opponent, you want the number or higher.
So I have a 1, a 4, a 7, and a 9. So 1 exact, 2 successes, 1 fail.
So you get 3 hit points back and 1 MP back from the spell.
So on the exact, nothing extra.
No, if you rolled 2 exact, you'd go to the crit chart.
Fair. All right, so I get 3 back. And then we'll meditate and get all my MP back.
Okay. Anyone else want to meditate?
I will meditate.
I will meditate as well.
Okay, so you each get back 1d10 plus your wit of MP.
Okay, so
And it is your current wit, not your regular wit.
I rolled a 1. My wit is 3, so that's a total of 4.
Yep. And if you were using the regular character sheet, which you have in front of you, you would check off the first box on the meditation chart. So the next time you meditate, you would get 1 less MP back. So basically, as the day goes on, you're getting just more mentally tired. You eventually get to the point where you have to fully sleep in order to get it back.
Okay.
But this is a one-night adventure, so you don't have to worry so much about that.
I rolled a 10, so
You got it all back, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I rolled a 4, and my wit is. You said by the wit by the card, not the negative, correct?
The wit, it gets added to it, yes.
So 4, and then my wit is 3.
Well, the wit is 2 right now, isn't it?
Oh yes, 2. That's
you
what
get-
I was asking. Asking is the negative counts, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the negative.
So it's 2.
Second half
So
of the hour.
so what's it at?
4 plus 2 would be 6.
6. Okay. So then I was at 11, and my MP count is 16. So my full MP.
So you're filled back up. You guys are all rested up.
And I'm filled back up on MP with the 4 because I was down to 13. My max is 16, so that 4 would put me at max.
There you go. All right, so you guys are all rested up, and you guys all notice as you're done your meditation that it is completely quiet. You almost miss the chanting seaweed out there. You don't hear that. You don't hear any animals. You hear absolutely nothing.
Not even the bugs.
Not even the bugs. They got the memo. You guys didn't get the memo, but they got the memo.
If we go to sleep and wait until dawn, this will go away.
Hopefully.
Aw, so do you pull the sheets up over your head?
I don't go that far.
Okay.
But I do attempt to crawl it. I crawl into bed and attempt to go to go to sleep or wait this out.
Okay. Well, you're Doug and Demian, you guys are suffering from utter depression from a song on top of the terror that there's something out there. There is no chance in hell that you two are going to fall asleep. Unless Lulu really wants to try to fall asleep. I think you're pretty much in a not able to sleep mode either. As you guys kind of lie there, straining your ears, trying to listen for something. And then after a short bit, you hear something. You hear the door open. Because somebody can't lock it because you can't actually reach that high.
The door or the window?
The door. You hear the door in the door out in the hall open. It creaks just it's the only sound, so it's easy to pick up. And you hear some thumping footsteps.
Oh shit, oh shit.
Pretty much. What do we got in here?
Looking around the room,
Yep.
looking for something to use as a two-handed weapon. Is that what you're looking for?
That's kind of what I got at this point.
All right,
Right.
you were smart enough to keep a field hockey stick over by your little dresser, so you got that. So you can grab that. That's a two-handed blunt weapon.
I'll take that.
All right, you hear your favorite leader camp counselor start to who are and then you hear a crash and nothing from her.
Carefully open our bedroom door and look and peek out to see what the fuck just happened.
All right, you give me a sneak check.
God damn, here we go again.
I know. Sorry, you try to be sneaky.
That fail.
All right, well the door does a nice as you open it up and you look.
Yep.
Her door is wide open, and you can't, from the angle you're at, you really can't see other than the fact it's open. You can see the far wall and some of her stuff. You'd have to open up your door more to really look.
Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. Because I know we're going to have to fight. So I'm just going to get ready to fight.
All right, so you just back away from the door.
Back away from the door, hockey stick basically held like a staff.
Okay.
Close the door! Close the door!
Ho door! Ho door!
Shutting the I will shut the door.
Okay. You close the door.
Yep.
So I'm going to, it's a 1 in 3 chance that your door is selected next. You hear the footsteps and you hear another door. It was not your door. You hear, you guys just waiting? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear, whoa, what the hell? And okay. You hear a guy holler, and suddenly bursting into your room in a complete hysteric panic is Kevin. He just slams the door open and comes racing in. He is in a complete panic. He's wearing his boxers. He has little red dots all over him.
All right.
He's in absolute freak out mode. This is it. But Bruce, oh my God, what is that thing?
What happened?
It's right over there. He's looking around frantically. And finally, Dana wakes up.
I
So
can't
he's
sleep through
waking up.
everything.
He's standing in the middle of the room freaking out. And I don't even have to make a sneak check. Stepping in the doorway, something bigger than the doorway that has to hunch down to get through it, is your favorite creature, the one that stepped out of the water.
Yup.
He's looking at you guys. His back is to it. Anybody say anything, or you just...
Well, since they're the two humans, it's like me and Doug shouldn't be saying anything, right?
Yep. All right.
I'm not gonna say anything. Can I just try and hit him?
You guys just attack the thing? All right. So the thing goes first. It's attacking Kevin. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, crit. 5 successes. All right. He's not dead, but he is close to it. He hits the ground as the thing slices through his back with its machete. And now let's do the crit. It might be dead. 7 on the crit chart. Double damage. Yeah, Kevin is gone. You just basically see this thing slice right through him. And he flops on the ground in front of you. And now, going back to turns, we'll just continue with the same lineup we have. So, Lulu, you're up.
I'm gonna try and hit him.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get that machete out of his hands.
Okay, so you're going to try to disarm him? Do you have any skills in disarming?
No, I was gonna try and just, you know what? That's a bad plan. I'm just gonna hit him
Okay.
with the hockey stick.
Yep. He's got a speed of 6.
So I'm rolling my speed, looking for his or...
His or higher.
Okay. Sadly, that is only 1 success. However, 2 damage.
But you do 2 damage, plus you're using a 2-handed weapon that you have skills in. So you actually do 4 damage.
I will take that.
So you do 4 points of damage to him. All right, so you clock him across the face with your field hockey stick. Next up, Endymion.
All right. Thinking I want to get everybody to escape. I use a zinger.
Okay.
And that once a day.
Yep, your racial ability of insulting.
Yep. Ah, you bloody bastard sword! You Jason wannabe! Go back home to your swamp monster mom.
And it hit home because it's magical. All right, it's making a wit check now. It failed. It turns to you, furious. It grinds its teeth together.
Get out of here now!
Next up, Doug.
I am going to attempt to petrify with the mastery, which it says if a crit is rolled, the petrify is permanent.
You're going to try to petrify the guy?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you have the mastery, so if you roll a crit, it's permanent.
So
all right.
I am going to go for a. I'm gonna try to go for a. I mean, this is a do or die situation, so I might as well level 10, which means I'll have to roll these dice twice.
Yep. Keep
And
track
what,
of it.
what do I
So
need to do?
It's the ability is what stat?
Ability, Petrify, the mastery, stat, strength, other.
So you're trying to beat its strength. It has a strength of 8.
So I need to roll high or an 8.
Yeah, you need to roll an 8 or higher.
Okay.
So count how many you roll that are 8 or higher this time, and then next time keep track of the 8s too.
I have 2 8s on
Okay.
that roll. Everything
How
else
many-
was lower. So 2
Everything else is
attacks.
Okay. Next
Roll
roll.
2. I have a 9 and everything else lower. So
So you
1
got you landed 3.
and 2 are crits.
So 2 are crits. So you turn them to stone permanently right off the bat. But your crit roll, now you got to roll. You got to roll 1 die. The lower you roll, the worse.
The lower I roll, the worse it is.
And the higher you roll, the better. There's you're on in this game, a crit is on the edge, so sometimes
Okay.
it falls on the good side or the bad side.
6.
All right,
Decidedly average.
you're a little better than average. Basically, an ability next turn is not going to cost you an AMP. You get a free ability next turn.
Okay.
So he basically, as he's staring at Damien with fury in his face, it turns to stone right there. Next one up, the counselors. Well, I guess, what's her name? Dana.
Dana.
She's the only one left.
She lets out a good scream.
We still have
And
Percy.
she heads to the window to try to get out. She gets the window open and pretty much climbs out the window.
Good. We got at least she's safe. I think. There's
All
stuff
right.
out.
Now, would you all? You're all three of you right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All three of you. Give me a wit check.
Rolled a 4. I'm still in that hour, so still have the -1, so fail.
Yep. Fail 5.
Fail. I rolled a 9.
Okay.
I would
All
have been
right.
exact if it weren't for that penalty.
I know. One over is just means you're, second place or first loser.
Yeah.
All right, Lulu, it's your turn. This big thing that takes up half the room is stone in front of you. Your roommate just screamed and ran out the window. There's 2 halves of a guy in front of you on the floor. And you do notice lights coming on behind you in the other rooms.
I'm going to, seeing that common sense, I think, is going to win, and I'm going to basically walk out of our room and just basically get whoever's awake alive and get everybody away from the petrified monster.
Okay. So you're rounding up the remaining counselors, which are...
Just Percy, I believe.
Yep.
Are we down to just Percy? Yeah, Dana jumped out. Kevin's in
Yep.
half. Bruce started. Yeah. Good,
Yeah.
good job. Yeah, so you find Percy, and you just grab by the hand. You're like, let's get out of here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then just basically get out and try to go in the same direction that Dana went, so we don't lose anybody else.
Okay, so you're going after Dana.
Yep.
You taking your buddies with you? Your stuffed animal and your...
If they wish, you know what? I'm not going to demand that they come, but I'm going to highly recommend it.
Well, you grab me by the hand so that it doesn't seem suspicious that you're running out without your trusted Stuffy.
Fair.
And I'm trying to catch up because I'm so slow while you're running away.
You can hide in the woods easy enough, though.
Yep.
All right. Well, you did manage to roll a crit permanent, which doesn't happen very often on it's actually Vorshi's. It is, but you turned it to stone. So basically, as you guys head on out, you see the wall of trees start to dissipate. There is now you guys head on out, get in somebody's car. You guys get in. Percy definitely has a car. He's got some nice tech in there, GPS, all that good stuff. He's got one of those little screen. It's a Tesla. His parents paid for it, so it's okay.
He's got the whoopee cushion feature on, so
that's right.
Lulu sits in the passenger seat and ripped one.
Yep. So you guys basically take on out of there. What ends up happening? You guys report a murder at the camp. When they go back, there's nothing. The statue's not there. Just gone. The seaweed creatures are gone. The bodies are still there. And then it starts running into the issue of background checks. Since Lulu has no background, your best bet is to kind of disappear. So you guys just kind of slip off into the night. Gonna have to find a new way to survive. And all because Doug rolled a crit on his Hail Mary Petrify. Turn him to supposed to chase you all around. He's supposed to go to maybe into the storage shed and use fireworks, whatever you got to do. But you know what? You made the roll. You turned the troll to stone.
Man.
So how do you feel with your first little excursion here, Doug?
The fact that I was able to pull, a crit out of my ass to kind of save us that was an adrenaline rush. That was actually more fun than I expected. Now I can understand why Angela loves this world so much.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we didn't get into any real heavy combat. It just kind of stopped. But
and that Petrify, when you have it, you have it. I got lucky.
Yeah.
10 chances for a Petrify, though.
The zinger that freaking doing basically a taunt as a small little pixie. That's.
Yep. Very insulting. It's more than dumbfounded by the fact that you even sent an insult like that,
That tag team was hilarious.
I got lucky with Petrify twice. That's all I'm saying. I got real lucky, not knowing what the seaweed creature would have done had I not petrified it.
So those were I'll just fill you in now that we're on the other side of the story. Those were all ballybogs, which are a playable race. They're basically like swamp creatures. And then Vorshi's the troll with a magical mask. If you guys had passed the sneak check, you would have noticed that the mask did not turn to stone, and there were cracks starting to show in the stone around the mask. So basically, it broke free from Petrify after a little while. But you guys managed to dismantle it long enough to escape. So Vorshis can return in Fae Data 13th Part 2. I need some kelp.
But this was actually a lot of fun. I did enjoy this.
Yeah,
good.
For the first game of this type of play, it was very much a lot of fun.
like I said, once you start playing, like you understand the way the rules work pretty quick. I mean, we could have gotten much more complicated. I could have had the Ballybogs all attacking you guys, but I also know that we're doing a first round here for some people, and also without a visual aid and the map set up, it's extra hard to kind of picture where everything is.
And with my abilities, I wasn't going to be picking any fights.
No. You're pretty strong, but that was so much rules. But too many rules, Ross?
But I will say, having been role playing for a long time, the rule system actually you simplified it real well. Good system. I would have liked to have built my own character.
Yes. Well, we could definitely set up another game, and you guys could actually build your own characters, and we could do an event, like a full-blown adventure. Now that what I can do is I can share the PDF to make a character with you guys, and you guys can build some stuff.
I'd like to see how the character building would work.
Yep.
That could be something fun for another show, maybe a midweek show, because I dropped working Wednesday night. So, although I think, Ange, you have a Wednesday night.
No.
No?
Wednesdays are one of my good nights.
Okay, so maybe we could try to get a Wednesday night character build session as a...
Yeah, we don't even have to play.
Special.
We'll just make characters.
Yeah, because I want to see how the character building works, because just based on this, I like it. Some interesting mechanics.
So, like, I know, Ross, it's weird when you can't see the skills and stuff and how they're working. But it's every ability in the game, even the high level stuff, follows the same rules. Every ability is tied to a stat, and it's either self or other. And almost every ability is done with a levels 1 through 10 concept. So once you kind of understand how to read an ability, you can read any ability and understand how it works, which is what I wanted. I wanted this game to be one that could be complicated for the diehards, but easy for the people that just want to casually play, you know?
I will say I was hoping you two would pass the check to get the bonus. That kind of made me a little sad, but...
I kind of went into fight or flight mode, especially seeing somebody like cut in half. It was like, knowing we were a team and knowing, that we had been together, like the back history that we've been together for a while, I didn't want to see anything happen to any of us.
You just ditched them. You ditched them, Doug.
I did ditch them early on. I flighted the first time and I fought the second time.
But you ended up stopping it there at the end. So
I ended up,
I will say I'm very much surprised we didn't TPK.
So if we had all 4 members of the team, so I'm also playing, there were some other abilities that are introduced by the 4th member to help out things, but Vorshis should have broken the Petrify and then been after you along the tree wall, and like chase you through the woods, and probably kill a couple more counselors in the process. And you would have had to keep trying to come up with ways to wear it down and stop it until you finally defeated it. But I also know time constraint with a online game.
And I started it early, figuring that we were going to be going the possibility of upwards of 3 hours for this. And
how we do? What time? Oh, 2 hours?
Over 2.
Okay.
So about 2 hours with it, and that includes some of the pre-setup and stuff. And it really, as somebody that has minor knowledge of the RPG world, just based off of watching other people who've streamed games in the past, which is one thing that piqued my interest. Victory Conditions Gaming's YouTube channel occasionally will stream live RPGs with Douglas Shute and some of the people over there. So I have a little bit of knowledge of watching them play. they obviously have more knowledge of systems and have played a lot more than I have, but it was like the Fae system and what you created was pretty easy to learn. It's more familiarizing myself now with the character, like with a said character, what
Right. It's
the
different when
stats that they have, and trying to understand what my character can and can't do.
right. So these characters, this adventure is one of my convention adventures where it's you get the prefab characters, so we can just sit down and just start playing.
And it's
And then, like,
designed to be run in like a 2 to 4 hour time block, I assume.
exactly, and
Yep.
that's amongst all the noise at a convention and distraction at a convention. I need something that we could kind of that's very fluid, like we can take it one way or take it another way, and no two ways have been the same. This is the first time we had people huddled in the cabin as things were going on. Like usually the players are out and about and they watch the monster go into the cabin and then they hear the screaming and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting from the other angle. Everyone always plays it different, which makes it not so bad when you play the same adventure, 6 or 7 times.
And I'm sure as a creator, you're enjoying all the feedback from especially new people like Damien and myself, where, like I said, this was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. And like, there were times when like I'm mentally picturing this stuff going on in my head because I'm I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Which it makes it tough for me to read things because I'm more of I need to see it visually than read it and get off a book or something of that nature, which is why I prefer anime to manga. But being able to like see this stuff happen, I can feel my heart beat, my heart racing at moments and being nervous and really starting to feel like you are in the situation.
Yep. Well,
And
it's even more complicated than, like, say, an RPG video game where you're limited to whatever commands the game actually has. In this, the only thing that limits you is your own imagination. You can basically do it. I'm ready for anything. Like, I've had players do the craziest stuff on some of these things, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's make it work. All right, I need a stat check on this. Let's see if we can do that.
And I have been known to be that player.
Yep,
you
I
seem
love
quite
that.
reserved, actually, and from
well,
stories you've told me.
One, given my character sheet, there was only so much on my abilities list that was even remotely useful.
Yes. Yep. Well, it all depends on what you actually do. Like, I'm bringing yours up here. So, commune with water. Obviously, if you knew more things, if you took the fight out to the water walk, it makes it easier.
Yep.
Maybe you guys got in a boat. Maybe you're trying to escape being trapped in the ring of trees by going out through the lake. There's all kinds of different things. Cold immunity you need to have in order to have the healing spell. So a lot of the abilities in this game, you have to get a certain level in one ability.
It's basically a skill tree.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. It's a skill tree.
Like any good RPG, you start with a base and then
Actually, I can pull one up if you'd like to see.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll just do this. I'll bring up the guide.
Because I'm picturing something like
Let me share my screen here. Share with everybody. So this hasn't been officially. This is the my editor. So if you see typos and things, it's just because it's not the final version. Where'd it go?
Okay, once you're ready, I will add it to the screen.
Where'd it go? It disappeared while I was opening it up. 1 second. All right, it's here. If you'd like to share it with the screen.
Alrighty.
So right now I'm in fire, but I'll go to the beginning of it and show you the tree. Flame, sorry. So this is a skill tree for flame, just so you can see it. You have flame affinity, which is where you start, which is when you buy into the tree. When you pick a race, every race is already has affinity of 2 elements. So then you pick one of those as your main. So, but you can buy into the flame tree. You don't get levels in this game. You get AP, which are affinity points that you spend in the trees. And the cheapest tree for you to spend in is your main tree, whatever tree you choose. But then you can spend it in any other tree. It just costs different amounts. So you have to, like, say you have, it costs you 1 point per level in your own tree. And then in another tree, it would cost you 2 points per level. Unless it's your weakness tree, then it would cost you 5 points per level. Because eventually you can basically make yourself immune to your weakness. It just costs a lot of points. So, like, in this tree, you can see it there well enough. But, like, you start down here with Flame Affinity. And then you purchase this, like, tier 1 abilities here. And then as you purchase enough of those, you can graduate to tier 2s. As you climb up the tree, you have to reach certain levels and certain abilities before you can grab the next one. And eventually get all the way up here to things like abilities like Infernal World or Dark World, create lava monsters, all kinds of fun things.
That's
And
pretty cool.
Each tree also has a split. Like at the top of this one, you can see there's fire and smoke. So as you climb the tree, you can choose to go to one side or the other and focus more on those kind of abilities. Like this one, you have choice of fire or smoke as your main trees. I think my mouse died. Well, anyway, oh, it's back. But then, like, I'll go to another tree. So sky, you have tempest on one side and flight on the other. And so there's actually 14 different trees you can climb, and then you can also start mixing abilities from different abilities. You can create your own abilities. Basically, when I created it, I took every single X-Men I could think of and made sure there was a way you could make that character in this game. That's
Nice.
how I did it. Like, if I can make all the X-Men, then I got a lot of abilities here. So
That's one way to do
it. I do a lot of comics work and stuff like that, so I was always thinking about all these different superpowers and, like, how can you make the superpower in this game?
I'm sure our friends in Montreal appreciate that.
I'm sure they do.
Dean's very happy about that. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about,
he was a big supporter of the campaign and everything. So,
and we did get to see the Montreal X-Men not that long ago at Rail City Fan Fest. So it was nice seeing Pierre and Dean and everybody. It was their first U.S. appearance since COVID.
I miss those guys. I'll show you a couple other things if I can.
And while you're getting that all set up, Darren, I know that you have been listening in, not so much a part of the game. I also know you said that you had some people show up unexpectedly. If you're able to comment, what did you think of hearing the gameplay?
Sorry. It was definitely interesting. I heard the majority of it. And to be honest, I kind of would struggle in this game because I don't have a creative mind. So, in all honesty, I feel like it wasn't a really good fit for me.
Well, we could make your character essentially a meat shield. We could make your character, be a weapon person, and, like, all right, we put you in front, be like, hit him.
So in other words, I die early on.
No, they keep you alive. That's their job.
You would basically be the tank, and you would rely on the healers to keep you alive.
Yeah. So right now I'm flipping through different races and stuff that you can play.
We could figure out a way of making you Zenobia in the game.
Exactly.
It can be done, I'm sure. It would really just be a matter of how to do it.
Right. Sometimes you have to get a little creative, mix a couple of abilities. So right here on this page right here, I have the ballybogs, which are the swamp creatures you were dealing with. And then there's also the boogies, which Doug was playing one of. Yeah.
It's funny because how you described the ballybogs, I was thinking, freaking that's the seaweed monster from freaking One Piece. Not One Piece. One Punch Man.
I always think what was the sea creature? It's around the same time as HR Puff and stuff.
Mm.
I'm dating myself by even suggesting it, probably.
And from Ross, all these designs and descriptions look amazing detail.
I
Thank
love
you.
the art.
I know
It's
the
like-
artist personally, so
I was gonna say it's almost as if Jay knows who the artist is.
almost.
You know, that's a thing that the night that that Rusty was supposed to be on the call with us, I believe it was he had a power failure.
Yep.
Yeah, he's had trouble on certain times. But he did some artwork for this too.
And not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that the timing of when you were on last and when the Kickstarter ended, I did not have the disposable income to.
So just so you all know, all right, that perfect segue there. I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. Oh, perfect. So I was supposed to tonight, but the guy that's helping me put it together has been a little delayed with surprise family visits today.
Life, the universe, everything.
Yeah. So it should be up tomorrow, but I am relaunching the books on on Indiegogo as a perpetual store while I do conventions and stuff. Though it doesn't have all the features that the Kickstarter had, but you will be able to order books there, and you'll be able to order either the PDF version, the hardcover, or if you have a retail store, you can get the wholesale. But also, I'm offering a couple adventures that you can also buy, including the full version of the one we were just playing, as like a little side thing. But the books will be available. I've had a whole bunch of people that were upset that they missed the Kickstarter. And I know with conventions coming up, I'm going to be talking about this game at a lot of them. So I wanted to create a way for people to continue to order the books ahead of time. So
Yay!
I was hoping to tell you right now that it was up, but it is not. And
But I'd want
it will be up
me
like
being
tomorrow.
me being me and an entire shelf dedicated to RPG books of various systems. I'd want a hardcover.
I didn't make enough to hit hardcover. It's going to be soft cover, but it's still going to be a pretty hefty book.
A physical book that I can put on the shelf and then
Yes, I totally agree. That's the way I am too.
and then, you know,
I do know.
eventually I'll meet Rusty and get signatures from everybody involved because that's just cool.
With Rusty, it would have to be something where we went to him. Unfortunately, due to health concerns and stuff, he is just
he's
done with
retired.
conventions. He's not going to be out and about anymore, which is sad but very understandable, knowing what he's dealt with for the past few years before COVID.
Yeah, he's retired from going to conventions, but we could definitely mail anything to him. He'd be happy to sign it.
And I will reach out to Rusty about having him come back on the show, since last time he had the power failures and stuff. Because he really is a good guy.
Because something like this, there was actually a D&D room at Anime Boston this year.
So
it was something thrown together very last minute.
So now I'm being introduced to the world of gaming conventions, which is a whole nother thing. Like I'm familiar with the comic book convention world, but now like suddenly I'm getting this huge list of things I should sign up for, and these aren't weekends anymore. Most gaming conventions are a week.
No, they're 4-day.
Thursday all day, Friday all day, Saturday all day, and Sunday all day. Yeah.
Well, it's either Thursday. It's either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Right.
Granted,
but it's harder to get
time off.
That much, and it takes a lot more time because people are there to play games. So you're sitting down for 3 to 4 hour sessions an awful lot of the time. And I mean, I love it. I've done 2 this year, and it was so much fun. And now that once I have physical copies of my game, I'm like, I got to make sure I book them.
So what? I don't know if you could get set up in time for this year. PAX
PAX
on.
Unplugged.
Yes.
That's what everyone's telling me. Like this game would kill it at PAX
It
Unplugged.
really. I can definitely say it would. There is a section of indie tabletop RPGs,
Yep.
and this past year for D&D they ran 2 hour block. It was basically one 2 hour session and then break and then another 2 hour session.
hmm
I believe Pathfinder did the same.
Yeah, which is essentially the same game.
They're similar enough,
Yeah.
but they're also their own distinct systems. But and I didn't really get a look this year at any of the indie ones. But there's always a bunch of them.
Yes. And I already the people from Total Confusion
Yep.
have already made sure I'm going to be there next year. They actually hunted me down at my last show, and we're like, "You're already on for next year, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, we're going to make sure you're on the schedule. Like, you're going to be playing full games at it. I'm like, "All right, sounds good."
Another good the two big another one of the big ones is Gen Con Indie, which I believe is happening next weekend or the weekend
Yeah,
after.
somebody admit. So, like, my gaming friends have started to give me like lists. And I'm like, well, I need to pick out some. I can't do them all. I can't do them and the comic conventions.
Gen Con Indie is basically the San Diego Comic Con of gaming
Right,
conventions.
right. And it's what? Where is it?
Indianapolis.
Yeah. Okay. Like, it's not around here. Where is it? Yeah. There you go.
PAX Unplugged is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Easy enough to get to from Boston.
Yeah, that was not too bad. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna. That's in like November, isn't it?
December.
Is it December?
2, 3, and 4, 3, 4, and 5, whatever
Well,
that.
that's better because the Comic Con season's over at that point, so it wouldn't be in the way.
Isn't MAG also in January?
MAG is usually right around New Year's. Yeah, PAX Unplugged is December 2, 3, and 4. MagFest is at the Gaylord.
In Baltimore. Yep.
Not Baltimore, but close enough.
Yeah.
And that's usually right around New Year's.
Yeah.
That's always a lot of fun as well. And I got to do some really good demos the last time I went down there, which was 2020.
So I'm definitely gonna have to like chit chat with you on shows because, like I said, I'm not that familiar with gaming conventions. I know a lot about the comic ones, but this is a whole nother beast for me. And
I spent years doing nothing but gaming conventions because I was playing Legend of the Five Rings competitively.
Okay, yep.
And so I literally went to all of the events. I ran some of them, and I worked in the card hall at Gen Con more than once. And seeing behind the curtain puts a whole new spin on conventions.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I have a very hard time just attending conventions anymore.
Same. I'm going to
Same.
PAX Unplugged and I'm working it as an enforcer.
There you
And
go.
when I'm not enforcing, I will have a short list of these are the things I must do.
Well, maybe you can play Fae.
I went to a small con in Watertown because they had two big name voice actors. And I'm like, we're just going to go for fun. Not going to worry about show stuff or anything like that. And I ended up doing promotions and all sorts of. I'm like, I can't go to a con just to attend. I have cards on me. I have take photographs. I do something.
Even at PAX East, I kind of accidentally did show stuff. Because when I was not on shift at the info booth, I'm friends with Nerd Caliber guys and ended up just chit chatting with them, and it became a hey, when can you come on the show, and scheduled that.
Which
And
was
then
funny because I was at Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo while she was at PAX East, and we're messaging back and forth and booked that while the two of us were at cons. She was talking with them directly and messaging via Messenger.
And then later on during the convention, it turns out one of the other enforcers from the info booth is is on the staff for Anime-Zing, so we ended up talking, and that ended up being a thing.
It's a small family. Once you get in there, you start realizing how many people,
Oh yeah,
all work together on different things.
and I thank you, Ross. If you can get Bryce Pappenbrook to get in touch with me, that would be an amazing guest to get on the show.
Jay, where are you located?
I live in Southern Mass.
Okay, so you're in Mass.
Yeah.
So, but Vermont would be within the realm of possibility.
Yes, I've traveled to Vermont for Comic-Cons. Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, even Maine.
He's come up to
Connecticut,
Plattsburgh.
Rhode Island. Those are all fairly easy get-tos.
One convention to look up then, usually it's in November, is Carnage.
I also heard good things of Retro Game Con in Syracuse.
I am actually planning on attending that in October, so I can give once I attend that and see exactly what is there. I could have a better idea of. I talking with them. They were actually at that small con in Watertown, and they said they were more towards the video game aspect than tabletop gaming. But I'll have a better understanding of if that would be a good fit for you, Jay, after I go to Retro Game Con in October. Anybody interested in going out there? It is the largest gaming convention in the state of New York. It's a video game expo, but I don't think that they exclusively cut out the tabletop gaming aspect.
No, usually it's the same group of people that are interested in both, so they tend to put them together.
And it's going to be October 8 and 9.
Yeah,
it just tends to be a what the focal point is versus what the ancillary stuff is.
Right.
It's actually the same weekend of freaking New York Comic Con.
As which one?
New York Comic Con.
Oh, what the? That's shit.
Yeah.
However, that might work out. Actually, that might work out in its favor because New York, because of.
It's a Comic-Con against a gaming con where not every gamer wants to go to a Comic-Con.
New York Comic-Con is different. New York and San Diego Comic-Con hold on to the names, but they're really pop culture cons.
Yes.
And video games are a large part of pop culture, but there's still people on the whole, well, that's too crowded or too expensive or both. So I'm going to go to the smaller event instead.
They're also very different experiences. I mean, at a gaming convention, you're there to play games. At a Comic-Con, you're there to shop and meet people. You know, like it's very like you go to a gaming convention to sit down, get immersed in something. You know, and in a Comic-Con, it's very. Well, that's the reason why it's 2 days instead of 4 days, right?
Yeah. Retro Gaming Con has announced some guests. They have 4 Genshin Impact voice actors that are going to be there, and 2 of them are big in the anime world. Christina V is a voice actress that I have enjoyed her work for years and would love to meet and get as a guest on the show. Also, Sean Chiplock is another big name in the world of anime. And both of them are also voice actors in Genshin Impact.
Which gets into how the different subcultures over the past few years, and I'm fairly certain COVID probably expedited this, there's a ton more overlap than there was even 5 years ago.
Oh, there's so much. I could, now that I'm doing gaming conventions and Comic Cons, I could stay in Massachusetts and have a show every weekend.
Yep.
I could
And you'd probably only have to minimally adjust things based on what type of con it is.
theme is. Yep. Like, well, okay, so this is the stuff I put in the. Basically, I have so much stuff that's like I just kind of have to pick what should be in front for the show. So, like, I do steampunk conventions now too, and I have like some steampunk artwork, and that gets put in the front for those kind of shows, and then that gets put to the side, and something else gets put to the front. You know,
and for a gaming
convention stuff, it's just what do I feature?
For a gaming convention, it's gonna be you're gonna expect to have more in-depth game stuff versus a Comic-Con or a steampunk where it's gonna be a bunch of people who may never have picked up dice before.
Right. Yep.
But what works into your favor, especially at where like Comic-Cons, you're seeing more gaming introduced there. With you having a tabletop game related to your comic, you can cross. If you love the game, check out the comic. This gives you a little bit more backstory to the game, and vice versa.
So the game isn't out yet, and I've sold more comics because of the game already. Like it's like, oh, the same world. I'm interested.
And see, as
you
someone
played the game, now live the story.
As someone who did not grow up with comics, who pretty much kind of ignored comics until I got married, because my husband's a comic book nerd, and he's been slowly introducing
you in.
Well, basically, being a child of the 80s and 90s, my introduction to comics was all of the bad movies before MCU.
The bad movies, well, they're good movies too, and they're all the great cartoons. For me, it was things like the Batman animated series and the X-Men and all that kind of stuff.
I did not grow up watching a whole lot of TV.
Oh, there you go then.
But it basically, he's based on my love of books. He'll pick out things based on my genre interests, and then buy me a trade paperback.
Yep.
And so subsequently, I'm slowly discovering that there's a lot of comics, and it's not just these superheroes and things that tend to bore me a little bit. Because the superhero stuff, yeah, it's entertaining a little bit, but it gets tropey and boring. And
it depends on whatever. There's something for everybody. There, you got to find what you're interested in. And even when you get sick of what you're interested in, there's something else you can get interested in.
And Netflix and other streaming services are doing live action adaptations of so much that it's like, hey, here's this show. Now go find the source material
and actually enjoy it better.
Precisely.
So what I found. And I think Jurassic Park was the first place where I really found this. Anyone who had read the book first did not enjoy the movie. So I watched the movie first, enjoyed it, and then I went and read the book and enjoyed it even more. So it worked out better that way because you didn't end up hating the movie right off the bat. So in general, if I know that there's a movie and a book at the same time when I discover it, I'll do the movie first so I'm not disappointed. And then, because I know a book you can get so much more out of it.
Almost like Ready Player One.
I will say that I saw Jurassic Park in theaters at the age of 10.
I guess I'm a little bit older than you.
So, and I had a scary incident during the movie, and of course I was with my dad. But I basically had some chewy candy and popped the very last of my baby teeth during the movie, scaring the shit out of myself. And I tried reading the book very long time later, and it was okay. there are many other books by Michael Crichton I like better.
Yes, yep, there are ones I like better. I kind of went. I started with Jurassic Park, and then I went down the rabbit hole and started reading all kinds of his books. But it was still good.
I did enjoy the original Jurassic Park. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but
I was actually watching the second newer one. Was it Lost World or Jurassic World?
The Lost Kingdom or something like that.
One of the ones with Chris Pratt in it.
Yes, the second one with him on it.
Where he does this.
The other day at work.
My wife's like, why does he do this every movie? He's always like,
well, if that's your signature, you know.
yeah, I guess so.
Actually, Jay, I was looking into the Retro Gaming Con, and in their Facebook page, they actually have a tabletop day in August.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I'm ready for August. Right now, I'm trying to get my book finished for all my peeps, which is going to keep me busy right through September. So I think until October, when I finally the books are coming in and I can ship them out, I'm probably not going to add anything to my schedule that early, but maybe next year I can get in on that.
But
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to prepare properly right now. I'm just struggling to get this Indiegogo thing up so that at least people can keep buying the book.
if you do make it to PAX Unplugged, let me know, because I will come and bother you and play a game.
Oh, please do. I'd love it.
And I don't think I'd be able to make PAX Unplugged. I've got to really see what we have for conventions. Adding Retro Game Con is going to probably add another night of a hotel, but Syracuse is not very far from me. Unfortunately, I know the area, having lived out there for 6 years with the X. So it'd be weird to go back to an area that I spent a lot of years in, but I think it would be fun to reconnect.
And if I do go to Mid-Hudson, I will look for you.
Oh, you'll find me. He always gives me a nice big space to spread out. So, and I should have the game there for that one. I have Terrificon this upcoming weekend, but I will not be playing Fae at it. I'll talk about it with anyone who wants to talk about it, and hopefully I have the Indiegogo up so people can buy the books. But there'll be no game modules at that one. But at Mid-Hudson, I'll be playing the game.
Okay.
No, Doug, October I can't do because October.
You have a trip.
Yeah, that's my That's my Europe vacation.
Woo! I got a trip then too, but I'm going to Niagara Falls.
Nice.
Wait, y'all actually take vacations?
Once in a while.
Yeah, you got the family that's put up with the fact that I spend every day and night working between my day job and my night job. And so you gotta stop at some point and take them all out somewhere and let them know that you are aware they exist sometimes.
No, we only were supposed to have this trip in 2020.
Why didn't you go?
Gee, I wonder why. And then it just kept getting pushed back, and well, we finally got everything rebooked for October of this year.
So what are you doing, a country hop, a whole bunch of different places?
1 week in London, 1 week in Paris.
Oh, very cool. That's exciting.
But
Amsterdam?
not this trip.
But my vacations are all going to conventions.
But to put things into perspective, we did our honeymoon in Tokyo.
What's a honeymoon? I've been married twice and haven't taken one.
I know nothing of what any of y'all are talking about.
Well, that's because you're a workaholic who refuses to quit the fast food job to focus on your own business.
Well, that might change soon because my friend, he brought me the news the other day He did 154 this week, and there's the addition to the contract that can add another 70 to 80 a week.
So quit Bojangles and focus on your landscaping.
But first, send Caitlin Barr all the biscuits.
Pretty much.
Which, for those of you who don't know, we had Caitlin Barr on the show, a talented voice actress, a while ago. And when she's from the Carolina area, and when she found out that Darren worked for Bojangles, she was like, "Oh man, I wish I could get those biscuits." So it's been a kind of a running joke now. And where she was at Kineticon as a guest last weekend, Darren thought about mailing me a box of biscuits to bring to her, but he wasn't sure whether he should send cooked or uncooked. And then whatever happened, he was never able to get them to send them out. When I did meet Caitlin, she did ask about, "Did you bring me any biscuits?" Because she remembered as well, which was hysterical.
It would have been hilarious if you actually went,
Oh my
yes,
God.
actually, here you go.
If I had the box of biscuits, I probably would have made her weekend 10 times better.
Pretty much.
That'd probably been one of the funniest things that ever happened to her at a convention.
Well, now she knows it's at least a possibility in the future. Unless she just comes to the Carolinas.
And then you can deliver them to her personally.
Pretty much.
But we had a lot of fun tonight playing Fae, courtesy of Jay Mooers, the benevolent game master, creator extraordinaire. This is like we said right after the game, this was a lot of fun. My first true experience of getting into an RPG and trying to understand gameplay and how things go with that. And it was, like you said, Jay, once you start playing, and Damien, I think you can agree with this, once you start playing, it all just kind of fits. It's like, I just need to know what to roll now. And that's where, as a newer RPG player, you rely on the game master to give you the direction of, okay, you need to roll 3 dice for this stat, 1 dice for that one, and then you add this or subtract based on the gameplay. And
you're already getting to the point where I could just say, everyone give me a sneak check. And you're like, you knew right what it was. You just rolled it. Another couple minutes of playing, and you would have been, if we had a little more combat involved, you would have been, boom, like, no problem. What do you need?
Of course, I started the combat. And
you ended the combat.
I did.
And meanwhile, I was trying to avoid it. But
You did go attack once.
You did give him a good smack across the face.
However, it in my defense, it hit me first.
But yeah, the seaweed creature slapped you first, so you slapped it back harder.
Yep.
And you hit 4 shees.
Yeah, you hit 4 shees.
If I were making my own character, I probably would not have played that much of a utility character. I probably would have played what I like to call Fireball of Chaos.
Okay.
And I'm curious, Jay, with the amount of games that you've played, how many times has it ended with a crit Petrify?
One of the other groups did roll a crit Petrify, but we were playing with the full party, and they were all experienced players, so I kept the rule where the mask broke any spells off of Vorshis, and they were having the hardest time trying to stop the creature, and finally realized they had to remove the mask. And then they were able to take it down. But at that point, they didn't have any MP left. It was chasing them around, and like, they were barely keeping each other alive. Every time it caught them, it was almost killing them. So it was a close one. I think it went on for about 4 hours. So
I'm just amazed that I was able to be somewhat effective, not knowing what I was doing. So,
I mean, like any RPG, Angela can tell you, most of it is just what can you come up with. And as long as it's a decent system, there's a rule that works with it. Whether you understand it or not, somebody else will tell you, all right, I need you to roll this.
Sometimes it really does come down to the rule of common sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes down to the dice just fucking hate you.
Oh yeah, just
I
no
got
sneaking
lucky
going
early on.
Enjoy it because next time it's going to be brutal.
Next time you'll have my luck with the sneak.
That's right.
What I did was
wearing squeaking shoes.
like the luck that I had when I had those like 4 bad rolls in a row was all with the same die. So I took that die, moved it off to the side, grabbed a different one. I was like, let's try this one. Okay, that did better.
Yep.
Yep.
But no, it's like in one it just so happened that literally all of my once a month game nights lined up back to back to back with this right in the middle. So
this is like intermission for you.
So it's like, so in one of my other games, I'm playing a rogue, and the amount of times in that campaign that I have rolled a nat 1 on trying to sneak has just led for some comedy gold, because it's never been in a situation to get my ass killed. It's just been a major inconvenience.
So the other night when I was playing this game, my sneak character in the group kept failing. There was a troll in the group called Puddin, and he had a sneak of 3, and he was passing his rolls. Meanwhile, the one who had a sneak of 8, who had all the sneak abilities, kept failing. It was pretty funny. It's like, I don't even know what I'm in this party for. I can't do a thing.
Yep, I've had games like that. My crew from college, we've all been role playing together for I think over a decade at this point. And my character was the pirate who was supposed to be controlling the boat, but I rolled the 1 because we almost capsized.
Mm-hmm.
And the freaking halfling rolled a nat 20 to basically take control of the boat from me.
New captain.
As a character, I was pissed.
Oh yeah.
But as a player, knowing these guys, I was laughing my ass off.
Yep. Oh yeah, critical fails are way more fun than critical successes. Well, they can be.
And see, Doug, now you understand why I roleplay. It is largely for the stories.
And it was very entertaining, and it was a very good story. And Jay, you're amazing at creating these stories that just draw the people in, and they want more. And so taking that from the comic form and creating it an RPG like this, I would be more than happy to play it again.
Well, good, because you're going to play it again. We're going to make some characters.
And, this...
and then Angela will slay you all.
Probably. She will become the fireball of chaos. And
I'm not going to turn on the party.
Yet.
I refuse to do that.
One of my other adventures, if we had 6 people, I was considering it. Everyone in the party gets a little sheet that tells what their personal objective is, as opposed to the party objective, and it turns into a who's going to stab who in the back first kind of situation. It's good times.
Oh, definitely. While Angela's getting her thoughts, I want to remind everybody that next week here on Anime-Zing Radio, we're going to be welcoming voice actor Josie McCoy. You can hear him as Kea from Genshin Impact. We are also going to be joined by Rick from Nerd Ubanity, who won the opportunity to be our guest co-host for that interview. We're going to have a lot of fun learning more about Josie, what it was like to be a part of Genshin Impact, which is huge right now. You find it everywhere. And I have played it a little bit more this week to get a better understanding of Josie's character. I have not spent any money. I know everybody's like, oh, gotcha game. You're going to be dumping money in for character. I'm not. I don't like spending money on games aside from an initial purchase. So I do have very good self-control of not dumping money into gacha games.
I was about to give you shit, and then you amended, and then you added the clarification, so I can't.
I spend it on figures, so you can give me shit about that.
He does physical gotchas.
Yeah. the physical gotchas, those mystery grab bags, which this actually is a pretty quality figure. I will give him credit.
No, it looks it.
And for
Doug,
those
I
of
would love to see you wander around Akibahara.
oh my god, what would be my spending budget?
Nothing.
Nope, the equivalent of $20 per store.
I don't think that's possible.
I would have to go.
It is.
But you have to find
You
the
have
stores.
to. That's the point. It can be done. You also have to look. Either that, or I would do something stupid and go watch the Trash Taste specials and basically give you challenges.
Dude, I would be up for it if you gave me the budget that they had in that first Trash Day special of $500 to spend in 4 stores. I would be able to do it.
Yes,
Give
but
me the
would you be able to?
challenges. I would do my damnedest. I have no shame. I don't think I
But
could
see,
run up the stairs singing an anime theme song because I don't know a ton of them, but
But find something from a non-mainstream anime that I've watched. Because we watch totally opposite things.
yeah. So it's like if I don't know it, you may have watched it.
That's kind of the point.
And non-mainstream, so that counts out. That cuts out things like Attack on Titan,
My
My Hero, Fairy Tail, Naruto.
I've not seen Fairy Tail.
Well, I'm just saying mainstream anime is cutting out
Yep.
all that stuff.
But see, Ed, they did that. They did that because Joey ended up screwing over himself by
Yeah,
forgetting when he watched something.
but man, trust me, if I had like $500 to spend in Akihabara, I could have fun with that. Especially in that one store where everything is like people are selling off figures in each of the individual boxes and stuff. I would walk away probably with a good 20 figures.
I know.
It's at the point now we need to get another piece of furniture to display figures because the shelf behind me is full, the one above the TV is full, and the one in the other room in the kitchen that has most of our figures is pretty full as well.
If my camera could move, I would show you the amount of figures that I have and the space I don't have.
My bookcase would be my counter to that.
Actually,
but I am not moving the camera.
Probably behind me, you can see some of them.
And Jay's house is just full of art. Which we have the artwork too.
Actually, I need cases for my... Damn it. Oh, yeah, this camera
We'll
can't
pull
work.
Coconut up there for a little bit here towards the end of the show. But
Yeah, that camera can't move.
No, we
tried.
that whole living in the city, space is at a premium, so everything is everywhere, and the bookcase is mostly full with random nonsense in front of the books.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep, I
Got that
have
too.
figures in front of books on top of books, holding bookshelves up.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. There's power tools. There's knives. There's a hammer. There's at least a roll of duct tape, a roll of painter's tape. Why is this in my bookcase? It doesn't help that Friday was my last day at my current job, so the things I cleaned out of my desk got shoved in there as well.
Another note that we want to put out there is August 7th, we will not be doing a live Sunday night show because August 6th and 7th, we will be at PoochieCon in Teaneck, New Jersey. If you are able to come out for that convention, Angela and I will be there Saturday and Sunday at a table. We will be doing live streaming from the con, much like we did for their Pennsylvania event, we also will be doing a contest where one lucky subscriber from PucciCon. So if you come up to the table, you show us that you subscribed to AZR while at the convention, you will be entered for a chance to join us for a voice actor interview with Aaron Campbell, who is also going to be a guest at the convention. So you'll have a chance to join us to chat with Aaron for 2 hours. He is an awesome, awesome guy. We've had him on the show in the past. He was at PucciCon in Pennsylvania, had a great time talking with him. So excited about this opportunity. So definitely come by the table. Say hi to Angela and myself. We are looking forward to meeting all of you awesome people at PucciCon.
You said August 6th and 7th?
Yep, and that's in Teaneck, New Jersey. We are proud sponsors of PucciCon. We also are going to be providing a guest spot for the overall winner of the Masquerade. So whoever wins the Masquerade will be joining us as a featured guest for a future Anime-Zing radio show. Unfortunately, we were unable to contact the overall winner of the Pennsylvania show, but we are in talks with the young lady who finished in second place in the overall. Just need to get her contact info again and figure out a date with her to get her on the show. And some of the guests for PucciCon in New Jersey include Key Silverstein, Mara Junot, Tara Sands, Aaron Campbell, Griffin Burns is going to be there. So you can try for retribution at PucciCon. And Paul St. Peter was just announced, and I know that they're going to have at least one more.
God, that was, not gonna lie, that was funny.
You didn't look as big of an ass as I did, asking him what press outlet he was in with. But in my defense, he was standing outside with all of the press for his press conference wearing a face mask, so I didn't know it was him.
Nope. All I'm gonna say is that I will say, I'd suggest you watch Platinum End, but I don't think you'll enjoy it.
We'll see if I have time.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I also like the weird, trippy, existential shit.
You do like the weird, trippy stuff. I like some of the weird stuff, not so much the trippy. Oh, I don't know. It all depends if you consider like Fooly Cooly something weird and trippy.
Never seen it.
But we are just about out of time. We want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight to watch us play Fae from Jay Mooers Creations. Jay, thank you so much for joining us tonight and hosting this fun experience for us all.
I'm glad we all had a great time. I'm glad you were able to save the party from destruction, Doug. And it will be up on Kickstarter. Actually, not Kickstarter, on Indiegogo this week. Please go on Indiegogo and just type in FAE, Fae, and it should be there. If you're interested in getting the game, that's great. I'll be traveling around to different conventions, playing at different places. I'm going to be at different hobby stores in New England playing it as well. Come find me.
Damien, I thank you also for joining us tonight for the playtest, and I hope that you had fun on the show and hope you had fun with the game.
I'll definitely had fun with both of them.
Yay!
And thank you for having me.
And thank you to, of course, our co-hosts, Angela and Darren. I know Darren was quiet for most of the show while we went through, but thank you for letting us know your thoughts, too, as you were listening to the game. I think Darren is dead.
Darren is dead. Moment of silence for Darren.
Per the norm.
But until next week, when we welcome Josie McCoy from Genshin Impact and Rick from Nerd Humanity, who I did buy the Yami figure from at Rail City Fan Fest. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay safe out there, and we will see you right here again next week at our normally scheduled time, 8 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe out there in this heat, and we will see you again right here next week on Anime-Zing Radio.